Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Guerilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GuerillaCross.com and the Guerilla Cross app and all of our social media pages. Follow us at Guerilla Cross on all social media. I'm your host, Quan59, and we have a packed show for you today. Got my man, Steve Hollywood Huff in the building. What's good?
Not much. You know, happy to be here. Ready to argue with y'all about something.
Good answer, Steve.
Yeah.
Good answer.
I got my man with a really dope hat on today. Super Bowl champion hat. Cream in the building. What's good?
What's up, man? In the building. Happy to be here. Happy to see y'all again. Let's do it, man.
You're undefeated?
I am.
Okay, yeah. We will talk next to the other undefeated guy, which is not Josh Williams.
That's
we
Dave.
will talk to Death Star Dave.
Off camera, but definitely still here.
He is there.
Just like the Bills game.
Wow. You don't
Fair
see
point.
it, but they are 2-0.
2-0, baby.
2-0, and nobody knows.
The York State champs.
That's right.
New York
That's right. Never had to leave the stadium, baby.
Don't leave metal.
And we're going to talk to Dave in a little bit about his hate for Josh Allen to see if it's still there, because he's looking pretty decent right now.
Better.
I was like, hate for me.
I'm not
God
convinced.
Dang, we really just claiming that now? Dang,
Oh, we
for real,
already
hate
knew
me
that.
now?
Did we
that-
ever not claim
Yeah,
it?
that wasn't a
By
question.
we, I mean me.
Dang, and then I stepped in.
And I think that's all we have to introduce, because that's all the 2-0. So, actually, can you and Dave switch seats so Dave can actually get
the
on
Ram-
camera?
the Rams are 2-0 too.
Steve's
they are.
kind
There
of
you
Rams
go.
are 2-0.
Yeah, they're 2-0.
This is kind of Rams.
My Rams.
Can you and Dave switch seats?
No,
We don't
I
need,
was here first.
We don't need any 0-2s
I
on
know you
camera.
won't switch.
I was-
You won't switch records, you know that.
Oh.
Lord, no. I'll be off camera in 2-0. Thank you.
We'll switch standings, that's for sure.
Oh, man. If you're watching Facebook Live, please share the live video feed with your people and share it with your people's people and your people's people. And we are here live. You guys can call in 702-608-3259. And also, please download the Guerilla Cross app. It's free. We have a lot of new music on there. We have new shows starting this week. We actually got a show starting tomorrow, and I forgot the name of it. So just tune in at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
check it out.
There's a new sports show happening. And Let the Ball Bounce, Girl Chat Sports. C. Williams, he got moved to Vegas High Media.
I have to talk about that at some point.
We'll talk about that off air. 'Cause,
Please, thanks.
some people get paid.
Fair enough.
Oh, I thought he was muting me.
Oh, no, I didn't even hear what you said.
I was like, Big, like,
I feel like
He hit me with the
people
Martin.
on the sides of Mr. Williams are getting paid.
No! Listen, one rule. And he just established it 13 seconds ago.
they're getting paid.
That is Josh's uncle, by the way.
No, it's not. Don't you claim that for my family. Oh, my God.
Wow. Again, we can talk about this.
Yeah.
Totally out there.
All right.
Well, you know what I mean? I had to make sure that was known and established for somebody to go,
Man. How about those Rams, though?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, we're not talking about that yet.
Trying to bring it back to sports.
Well,
That's
Yeah, just indulge him, please, Quan. Just let him write the ship that we can't. That we're not. writing
let
right
him
now.
refresh the story.
yeah, so we do have a lot of NFL to talk about. Some quarterbacks are out. One, I don't think will play ever again. We'll talk about that. Steve's happy the one went out yesterday early in the game, so his team could actually win that game because I don't think they were going to win with him playing a full game.
Another controversial
Disagree.
call.
I just do actually.
well, you know, mistakes happen.
So we'll be talking about that.
Just not to
we'll
your
be
team.
talking about LeVar versus Lonzo, the grudge match. They should have a celebrity death match with them two.
It'll be the
They
best
should
thing
have
that
a
ever
real
happened
life
to that boy.
death match.
That would be
MTV,
good.
MTV Celebrity Death Match?
Yeah.
And they got to bring that back.
What was that show that I think it was called like Grudge Match or something? They used to get in the boxing ring with like oversized boxing gloves and fight.
I think it was.
You remember that show? Is that what it was called? They should do that. They should do that.
They shouldn't. That show is terrible.
I don't want to see the animation. I want to see them fight, like real fight.
with them big gloves.
They could be like they don't have to
Lonzo
be that
got money
big.
on the line, man.
They could be like just 3-pound gloves or
He
something.
can't
you know
be
what I mean?
getting to no
Man,
real ring.
Lonzo
Off
can't
season,
run-
baby.
That's a
Lonzo-
different weight class.
Lonzo can't run a fast break without spraining his ankle. Don't get no ring.
Amen.
But he's young. His dad's old. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That could even out.
Let me
That's
tell you
grown
something.
man
Old man
strength.
strength.
Let me tell you something. I am not trying to mess with LeVar. Are you crazy?
That's what I'm He's crazy.
LeVar looked like he will legit put me in a headlock just to save me.
Yeah, he's
I could
got-
have knocked you out, boy. I could have knocked you out. I was going to put you to sleep. Oh, well, thanks, sir.
LeVar got one bad tooth and a lot of bad grudges. So, no thank you.
And
You don't
he's-
touch that. You
he's
leave
got
that alone.
He's got that crazy uncle demeanor, like the one that's like,
Drinks
you're
too much?
always wondering at
Yeah.
a family function, like, is he going to smack somebody?
You know, he probably has so many open-toe Stacey Adams.
Oh,
my
no, you
goodness.
did not.
So many uncle shoes.
He got the cookout
Hey,
shoe?
He flips that spatula. Pop, pop.
I hate you.
Lands
Let's hear it,
so
Brees.
flat.
He be out there with the basketball
flat.
shorts
You
on
know
and the
anything
dress
about
socks
that.
up to his knees.
Hey, I used to flip your mama like that.
He got the penny loafers with no coins in it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Steve, don't get Steve started on the South now.
Oh,
Steve
my
can go.
goodness.
St. Louis got some,
Hey, bro,
they got some styles on him.
this is probably like 80% of my family. We talking.
We all hear about Steve's family reunion. We're all
Oh,
like
my
250 deep.
Oh, my goodness. Every time Steve come back, you got a
Lonzo
new
and
celebrity.
LeVar
in
might be
the family.
related to Steve. Every time
Hey.
Steve comes back, he's got new athlete relatives.
Michael Jordan, my third cousin. It's
Hey,
on my
I-
mama's side.
Hey,
Twice
I don't,
removed.
I don't write the news, man. I just deliver
I
it.
just report it, baby. Just report it.
Hey, I'd be just as shocked as y'all to find this stuff out.
Comes back to last time.
DK Metcalf.
That's
Yeah,
my cousin.
DK
Hey,
Metcalf.
what?
That's my cousin.
You got a cousin 2 decades younger than you?
Well, it's like, you know, we got, put it this way, like, we got the same, like, great granddad. You know what I mean? Well, it's my great uncle, so it'll probably be his
We're both
great
related
great
to Adam.
grandfather, something like that.
Adam's
Like,
the one
you
that
know
bit
what
the
I
apple.
mean? Look, hey, we come from the same tree, baby.
We all come.
I tried to tell Eve to leave him alone. Don't mess with the snake. I told Eve, don't mess with the snake.
Steve's tree got so many branches.
I bet he did.
You thought it stopped
Hey.
with Cain and Abel. There was another one.
There actually was.
Cain, Abel, and Hollywood.
Can't able and
He didn't make the Bible, but it kept going from him.
He was there.
He went off on his own. He was independent.
He looked at. I got warrants. I got no part in this.
I got warrants from the garden.
Yeah, that's right. I got warrants.
Nobody else caught that. I'm like, whoa, he got warrants.
I don't even want to know what you had to
The
do.
snake was like, can I see your ID? For what, officer?
What other proof do you need that black people
How
were
do
the
you
first
know the
people?
word officer already?
Haven't even been invented yet.
Oh my God.
The tree of knowledge was powerful, baby.
Anyway, Quad, you were saying?
Go ahead, Quan. Get the show started.
I
Good
feel
Lord.
like Josh takes sips of his water just to choke.
No, they just happen to say
He'll
things
do
right.
it right
mid-drink.
but he'll do it right when there's about to be a punchline.
So does the
Or when
entire
somebody
Washington
dies.
professional football team just drink water all Sunday?
Oh, because all they do is choke. See what happened there?
That wasn't a choke. That was just a. That was
Well,
just
they choked week 1.
No,
Wow.
that's how the Redskins play. That's
They-
not even. I don't
The
even
who?
consider that a choke anymore.
Just because they choke consistently don't mean it's not choking.
No, that's no longer choking. If it's that consistent, you got to win to choke.
You can go to a
At some point, you do win.
No.
right?
If you go to
Come
a
on,
restaurant and have dinner, and every time you go to that restaurant, you choke on your food.
Stop going to that restaurant.
You choke a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Stop going to that restaurant.
I mean,
But
maybe chew. Maybe chew
Washington
your
has
food.
been going to the same restaurant
Stop
every week
going
for
to
years.
that
That wasn't your defense when I said Serena didn't choke.
We are.
Serena choke.
Serena choke.
We are.
I didn't. Say
I have
So
an
the Redskins
announcement to
choke.
make, everybody. We are 14 weeks away from Josh's interview.
Hey,
Oh.
14 weeks.
I
It's
think
a
we're
lot
way
of-
less than 14.
it's a lot of weeks.
I think we're way less than that
All I gotta
because
say,
you just have to say that they are that the 49ers are finishing ahead of Josh's favorite team, and I think we're maybe like
Our magic
10
number
weeks
our
at
magic
most
number
away.
is like 4 right now. That's our magic number.
that's just so disrespectful.
I mean, we
That's
could
so
we can
disrespectful.
go down the Washington professional football team schedule. I mean, they got 2 games against the Giants,
Yep.
so there is that.
So there's a split.
Yeah,
I mean, we
They're not beating the Eagles or the Cowboys this year.
never know.
Wow.
Oh, you never know.
I feel
We
like I
do
know.
split. We usually do split with them.
You
On
usually
home-
do.
In fairness,
or
in fairness,
away.
Trent Williams is also usually playing.
No, that's not really true. He is hurt a lot.
Wow.
He doesn't play more than about
Now
12
his feelings
games a
are what's
year.
hurt.
Well, that's more than feelings.
he's out with a bruised ego.
No, he's out with some cancerous tumors that got that was the whole issue.
Wow.
Yeah. He basically the team was like, no, don't worry about that growth. and then he got a second
It's
opinion.
fine, you're
he got
big.
a second opinion, and they were like, yeah, that could be cancerous. They
Like, Doc,
took it
it's
off.
got hair on
So,
it. That's
yeah.
natural.
Don't ever trust a team doctor is the moral of this story.
So yeah, that was the whole issue. Like he basically was playing with something he felt
Oh,
could have
that'll
become.
do it.
Yeah, and so he.
I thought he was right before I knew that.
Yeah,
before I even
yeah,
knew
no,
that, I thought
yeah,
he was
no.
right.
He and then that was the whole issue. Well, that's part of the issue. The other issue is money. of
But hey,
course.
the team can keep taking that stance, right? Keep showing him. You show him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea why we're talking about one of the worst teams in the league, but we're
Well,
going to get to some real
I don't
football
know.
talk.
Yeah, you guys go ahead.
It's in service of your favorite team because they are going to. You guys, this bet, I don't know why Josh made this bet.
because
This bet will not be close.
because-
You realize this is going to make him talk about them more, right?
Fair enough. But I'm just saying.
He still thinks he has a chance with the bet.
of course
He
I
doesn't.
do.
Because when
course I
Jimmy
do.
G goes down with the injury,
All
I
right.
want him to have a chance. I don't want
Well,
him
you
to
know.
try and
All
buy
right.
his way out of this. I don't want
Steve, should Jimmy G go down, how do you feel about my chances?
Look,
You will
this is
still
what I'm
not win
saying.
as
They're
many
around.
I don't- I think that you should never give up hope. However, I don't think hope is a good plan.
Dang, you telling me not to keep hope alive?
No, keep hope alive, but
Lord
you
have
just you
mercy.
should have came into this with a better plan than just hope. Because that's all you got, bro.
You might need to quit the
Steve
show.
low key is saying you lost the bet.
Well, you know,
You
I
haven't
think in
lost
like-
it yet.
I like Steve's opinion of it.
No,
better
he
than
lost
But-
it 3 weeks
but
ago
but
when he made
Steve,
it.
Steve says it's on the schedule.
I'm
It
rooting,
just hasn't happened yet.
I'm rooting for you though.
Appreciate it.
I am.
You'd rather them
I'll
say
close your
Redskins.
laptop
All
right
right,
now.
I'm afraid of this interview.
I'll close your laptop
The
right now.
potential
Yeah.
interview that could happen. I am legit like
I
scared.
can't be here for that.
I can't. I could not.
I want to
Hey,
watch it on my
party to
phone.
You
Are
know
kidding
what?
me? I don't
You know
want to watch
what?
it live.
I'm 50-50.
Lord,
I
no, I
like.
ain't gonna be here.
Hey, look, all I have to say is we just have to figure out a parameter on the time limit. Because I can keep it together for about a good 8. Once
No,
we get to
see,
10,
8 minutes.
8
bro,
minutes.
I am a professional.
You have no
Okay,
chance.
no, wait.
Listen.
You can do it for 8.
8?
No, there needs to be more bets here. We're going to do over-underers and make a lot of money off of this.
Under.
Wait.
If 8 is the line, I'm taking the
What
under.
are his struggle words? Because then I'm gonna work around the
I'm
struggle words.
assuming all of them.
No.
I mean,
we can't give you that. We
you
can't
know
give
who
you
we're
that
getting.
though.
People have struggles with W, so there's what you gonna do about it? Like there's levels.
This is already so
there are
wrong.
levels.
You
so
didn't
I
even
have
last
to-
through the W.
I got-
How are you going to finish?
I gotta stay.
You're going to try to avoid every word with a W.
Yeah, that's right. There's gonna be no where are you
Wait,
from?
better have a
hold
struggle
on.
with J's,
Based
that's
on a
for
bet
sure.
with what team? You're gonna avoid all W's. Well, you're already avoiding W's during the regular season. But
That was solid. I'm not even mad at you there. I like what you did there. That was pretty good.
And it's factual.
I mean,
Dave, I didn't need you to rebuttal. I didn't need the rebuttal, Dave.
Dave, I got it the first time.
Hey, it's factual.
2-0.
Just uncalled for.
2-0.
I need everybody with a 2-0 record in here to raise their hand. And Dave, if you happen to have a 2-0 record, you can go ahead and just kind of move over
right,
where
you can-
Josh
you
is
can-
at real
Well,
quick.
yeah, why not just get in front
cover
of Josh's
Dave.
head?
Raise your hand if you're 2-0.
2-0.
put your twos up.
Wow, that's a
Hey.
lot of hands.
Wow.
Deuces.
That's 4 hands out of 5 people.
That's 80%.
And me and
Man.
Todd are winless.
Todd's not here. Don't try to put him in
Hey,
your
that's all right.
misery today.
I will put him
Don't
in there.
try to put him in
Well,
your misery
Todd,
today.
That's good that you don't, because Todd could hear a lot about their performance yesterday.
Oh boy. Oh.
A lot.
Who's
What did
Bye-bye,
he-
Eli. Bye-bye.
Such an
close.
easy bet yesterday. So
That
easy.
Eli thing is very, very close to being a done deal.
I think it's past close. When their coach said today, when they asked if he was going to be the quarterback, they're like,
Evaluating?
he has been our quarterback. I think we already know
has
that Daniel
been.
Jones will be starting in week 3.
You think
Wow.
so? I don't think so.
Oh yeah. When
Wow.
you don't just throw something nonsense like that out there.
But here's the thing, though. That was like part of a whole process of him saying, listen, we're not talking about the quarterback, not talking about the quarterback. Then they just found like a different way to ask the same question. And he's just like, I already answered that. And he just
Maybe.
guess what? He's not he doesn't have the gift of gab
But-
like the people in this room.
But why do you
Yeah.
want to start Eli at this point? You just took a guy in the first round, and Eli's been trash for several years consecutively.
Because
Well,
not every team
in
is trying
Eli's
to win
interview
this
today,
year.
he said,
Yeah, he said, nah.
so,
He said, do you think you should be
Not a-
starting? He
I-
said, nay.
I mean,
Yeah, you know,
I mean, listen,
we'll see how it
I have
goes.
no room to talk, but that is not a handsome man.
Listen,
Not a handsome man.
not every team's trying to win.
the simple
this year.
fact that a man with a slight touch of Down syndrome could make it this far in the
Stop
NFL,
He's
it.
very,
he is
very
the most
impressive.
successful.
Very
athlete
impressive.
With
He is
that
closely
condition.
downsy. He's
Right?
closely downsy.
he's down adjacent.
He's got a
Downsy
sprinkling.
adjacent.
He's
a
a little
dash.
downwind.
Him and
Yeah.
Sam Bradford was a little down.
Sam Bradford's not bad. He's just
He's
just
Mr.
ugly-
Glass.
Yeah, he's just an uglier dude. Eli
Then
looks
Eli?
like
No, not uglier than Eli.
That's almost impossible.
no.
All right,
Eli looks like Neanderthal man.
Talk
a little
about sports now
little different.
instead of judging other men's looks.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, you guys can do
I'm
that all day if
comfortable.
you want. On another show, the ungood-looking show.
Oh God.
Yeah, they do both look a little touched.
And as I
I'm just saying.
segue to moving on from that, Steve goes ahead and jumps into
Touched in the head.
still talking about it. Anybody else you want to call ugly?
Not at the moment.
In the NFL,
I mean, we can talk
need-
about half the league.
we
but-
need another show.
Yeah, we got that
That's
kind
what I
of
said.
time.
It'd be
today.
on another show. So there was a lot of sports that happened, and baseball season is coming up in about 2 weeks. We'll be touching on that a little bit.
Baseball
Okay.
season is full swing.
We could really be talking about wild
try
card
and catch
right
up,
now.
guys.
Try and catch up.
Mine's 57, fellas. Try and catch up. Ayo.
The new stadium is really nice.
Cool. Big Ben
Suntrust
is
Field.
out for the season. He's having surgery or had surgery or needs surgery or
Allegedly.
is
Elbow.
dying. His elbow went out yesterday during the game. They weren't looking that great anyways, losing to Seattle at home.
Do you smell something?
Smell with
Do you smell
cooking?
something?
There we go.
I smell BS. I smell BS all
You don't
over
think
this
he's really
fake
hurt?
injury. Lord, no. He was going to get benched.
Wow, you don't think he's
You think he was going to get benched? Oh,
Yes.
Stop
Dave.
it.
No, Dave,
Oh,
Dave.
Mason Rudolph was coming.
Bro, they got rid of everybody on that team for him.
Yeah.
He was not getting
Good
benched.
decision. He was getting
He
benched.
just got. Didn't he just get an extension too?
Yeah, he just
He
got
did.
He's got an extension. They
They
the
don't
whole
bench that.
prob-
I feel how
the
I
whole
feel.
The whole problem was how Ben runs the whole organization. They let Ben run the whole organization. Oh, do you think so? Well, then you can leave too. And you think they were gonna bench him for 0-2? Not even 0-2. 0-1 at halftime? Oh, no.
It wasn't going
I
that
don't know,
bad.
man. I don't.
Well,
he has that look
You
of somebody
don't-
that
you
does
don't
not want to be
fake
playing
Tom-
anymore.
You don't fake Tommy John surgery, man. That's
It's not Tommy
that
John
what it is?
surgery.
yeah. That's
It's an elbow is not Tommy John.
it's not his elbow. It's his elbow. That's where he felt the pain. That's where he started grabbing. But they think it's gonna be Tommy John. Tommy John for quarterbacks
He's
ain't the
done
same.
anyway.
Ain't the same for pitchers. Ain't the same because pitchers, first of all, should not be thrown like that. That's
Okay, if
terrible.
Dave's theory's wrong, let's just say he is hurt. like the reports are out there and he's having surgery.
Okay.
Is he coming back? I mean, he's 37 years old right now. He's already threatened retirement a few times the past few years. Does he come back from this? And if he does come back in the NFL, is he going to play for the Steelers again, or is it going to be another Bronco veteran quarterback?
Oh, Lord, no.
Okay. Just found a report. Kareem is right. It is essentially Tommy John surgery for a quarterback.
Wow.
It is going to put him out the rest of the season. He is saying that he just signed his 3-year extension and he plans to honor it, so he's going to come back 100%. That's what he's saying right now.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So he plans to come back
Yep.
after this. He's expecting a full recovery, but then
Okay.
he's also
We all have
Big
plans in
Ben
life.
and
Listen,
yeah,
we all
exactly.
have
Like,
plans in
I
life.
worry about
think
anything
so.
that man does that
Yeah.
has to do with the word John, considering his bathroom history.
Oh my!
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh.
He's a terrible human being. Don't boo me.
that's a good one.
Don't boo me.
That was strong.
Well, you're not
I
supposed
got
to
you
say
back.
don't boo me.
That was urinal cake.
You
That
know
was
what?
urinal
Fine, boo
cake
me.
strong.
I don't care.
you. You didn't
I don't
accept
care.
booze.
Steelers fans, you all know it's
I
true.
think you were the only one that heard that.
Like, what? You know what?
I said it was urinal cake strong, is what I said.
Oh boy.
But moving on. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I mean, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
You wishing Tommy
wise-
John on it, man?
I mean, he wished death on Kevin Hart too, and he almost died.
I
So
did not wish death on Kevin Hart.
we will
I've
pull
never,
up.
I've
we'll
never seen
we'll
the proof
pull
of
up the
this.
You
archives.
have.
Me and Josh were
I wish
definitely
for his
here
career to go
during
away.
a live
There's
show.
a big difference.
No, you talked
Well,
about
that
him.
would have done it.
You
Dad.
talked about him flying to the All-Star game and his plane crashing.
Dad.
I don't feel like I actually said that.
You did.
It was
I, mean, I
100%.
know I'm capable of a lot.
I
And
think
you
Dave, I think you said actually, if his plane went down, I wouldn't be sad.
Yeah, it was something along those
different.
lines of
Oh,
like,
that was different.
That's different.
That's wishing death.
Hold on. Was Tiffany Haddish also in the plane?
Oh my!
She might
Don't
have
settle
been.
down.
She might have been.
Does she know that there's a word no that you could say to a project?
No.
nah, she don't
Does
know.
Big Ben?
Antonio
Anyway,
Brown.
No, Big Ben didn't know it either. For different reasons.
Do any of the former Steelers know how to say no?
Oh
Ooh.
boy!
Hey, Le'Veon's got nothing on him.
Yeah.
He did go to Michigan State though, so I mean,
Yeah, come on,
suspect.
Michigan State.
Well, he didn't say no.
Ooh.
Wise man once said,
Larry-
"Reality is often disappointing."
Larry Nasser, meet
Oh,
Le'Veon.
that's
Oh,
not
boy.
funny. That's not even close.
What?
To funny.
He ain't making a joke about him. He really went to Michigan State.
Yeah.
But that's,
He's not making a joke about him.
I
He's-
was just hating
he's
Michigan
connecting
State.
the
I wasn't even
dots.
That's a
connecting
slip.
that.
He's
That's
just
a-
connecting the dots.
That's a slippery
Michigan
slope.
State is known for being really.
But are any
not
of
that
these
great to
slopes
women.
not slippery at this
No,
point?
no. That one.
Steve, you saying the word slope is very slippery.
moist?
Wow, back to football and the NFL. So do you think this is it for Big Ben? Steve, I'll start with you. Yes or no? Cream.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cream.
No, he signed 3 years. I mean,
But like he said, he plans on honoring it. But does
Right.
that mean?
oh, I didn't say.
I
he-
think he'll
Does
come
that
back
mean-
and suck.
Does that
Hold on,
mean?
hold
Is what I
now.
think.
Hold on. Does that mean Pittsburgh plans on honoring
That's
it?
my point. I think he'll come back. I don't know if he'll play, but he still gets money just for being on the roster at a certain point. You can't just say no to that.
All right.
I
Dave,
think
what
that's
do you think?
I still think no, but I mean Kareem does raise a good point that as long as there's a roster bonus involved, he's gonna at least act like he's coming back. That's
and,
for sure.
And to add
Right,
to that,
yeah.
from what I heard today, I forget who the quarterback was that they talked to, but Tommy John for quarterbacks ain't the same for pitchers.
pitchers?
Like within
Interesting.
within like 2 months, whoever it was said that he was healed and he was throwing again within 4 months.
Oh.
Which with pitchers, it's like a year and a half. But
Yeah, like
but
it's
their
giving everything. they
fundamentals
got.
are just they're tragic.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. It's
When you're throwing so many
unhealthy.
different ways as a pitcher, anyways. You
Exactly.
know, as a quarterback, you pretty much have one throwing motion.
one throwing motion, right?
Unless you're Pat Mahomes.
boy,
He has
that-
any throwing motion.
that video game.
Any throwing motion I want.
Yeah.
Josh, what do you think?
Yes, he's coming back. Give me my shmoney.
All right.
There it is.
There we go.
Well, if not, we know he'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, he
And-
will.
One way or another.
He'll take it no matter what.
He'll take it.
He
all
will
right.
take it.
If they want to give it to him,
What
he'll
you
take it.
say,
Not
he is taking
funny.
it.
And you can't stop him.
No,
guys
you're right.
are
It's
Not
not
for
funny.
them.
Right? It wasn't funny.
You're
I mean,
right.
not
It's
for
not
me either.
funny.
It's not.
Nobody's laughing, Josh.
We just
Actually,
Except
all
you.
of you
we
were.
just don't want
You're
anybody.
laughing.
No,
we just don't want anybody
not-
to
Josh
forget.
is the one laughing, saying we're
Josh
all
is
laughing.
calling us
That's
laughing,
not
like,
right. That's not right. How y'all be trying to flip it like I'm the only person on here.
Dave's off camera not laughing, guys.
Dave's
No,
not
Dave's
laughing.
Dave's not
Anyway.
laughing, but Dave was. And so is Kareem.
Just because we're trying to remind
And
the
Why
public.
is he telling on
And
people?
Steve,
What
because
is
y'all
this?
be trying to narc me out like I'm a bad dude.
Listen,
We're literally
I
on
don't
live
I'm
camera.
taking shots online from your mom. She's like, now I know why you don't have a camera on Dave.
I mean,
Wow.
Wow.
Shots.
Why? What? I don't.
See?
What's she saying?
See?
Bang.
I'm not sure what part she's saying that.
Probably just because I say a lot of stuff.
Mom Dukes knows. You know what I mean? Me and your mom are
Yeah,
cool.
she jumped in on your
Steve-
conversation last
Hey.
night.
Me
Steve's
and
the
your
one that
mom are always
disrespected
cool.
her once.
Well, Steve's,
Not me.
Steve's
no,
the only one that's
I
actually
did
sweated
not.
and turned red like a cherry when my mom was.
Whoa.
Because
Cherry
I
red.
was ambushed and I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? I was ambushed for what they thought I was about to say. I ain't even say it. It was like some Minority Report like stuff happening. Like
Please.
I was straight
stop.
up like, you know.
Please.
Oh my god.
I was like, who is this person? And then Quan was like, that's my mom. And I'm like, oh, I'm just asking. It's like, don't say
No,
anything
he was
about my
about
mom.
to. He was
Like,
about to go in on that
everybody-
person.
I wasn't about to go
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, you were.
And not like Josh, who since it was a woman, it would be on the DMs.
Hey, look here. Don't you better ease
Hey,
up.
that doesn't sound right.
Ease up. Ease
No,
up.
Josh will
Oh, Josh,
attack
yeah.
will attack a woman online without question.
That's not true.
But then, hey, let me make it up to you.
Hey. I mean, dinner.
Yeah,
dinner's
Oh, I
always
didn't know
nice.
you wore ripped jeans.
you ever been to Greenleaf?
I didn't realize you had ripped
Everybody's
jeans
gotta
on.
eat. Everybody
you
has
ever been
eat.
to the ramen store downstairs?
No, that never. I haven't. So I wouldn't take anyone there.
Wow.
That's not for me.
It's not bad, actually. I was
It's actually really
there
good.
2 weeks ago. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
good.
I mean,
I might go
when
there tonight. You
when
wanna
I
go,
saw
Chris?
them shut down,
Thinking about it.
when I saw them shut down, I was like, yep, that tells me everything I need to know about your business.
Well, some people rebuild.
Does it?
Well, they just
Well,
opened.
Vegas is just, it's a horrible spot for food, for restaurants.
Here
Like,
we
to
go.
make it.
There's a lot of
Here
people.
we go.
Why-
East
why do you think
Coast.
that is?
East
No,
Coast bias.
no, to make it.
Hold on, why do you think
not,
that- why do
not food,
Why
not
do you-
quality.
why do you think
I
that
mean,
is?
just because there's so many choice, like it's just so much choice that like I know me personally, like as a consumer, I go and I'll be like, this place is great, and
We
then
don't
I
get-
won't go back for.
We
6
don't get
months.
starstruck here.
You
We
know
don't get
what I'm saying?
starstruck. We,
Yeah, I think
we
that's
hear
what
about
it
the
is.
we hear about
Yeah.
the brand new whatever chef's restaurant
You'll go.
in New York, and it's like, oh, have you heard of this place? I can't wait to go. Here in Vegas, we're like, yeah,
Okay.
and we should have been had that.
Yeah.
Why are we
There's-
just now
There's
getting
a place
it?
like that on Flamingo and Eastern. What's your
Yeah.
point?
Well,
Right.
not only
Like-
that, but like they'll open the same restaurant that they open in New York here, and like here you can just walk in New York, you can't get a table for like
Yeah.
6
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
Exactly.
If we ever change the name of our show from unnamed to a name, it'll be not sports related, but so
Off topic.
Off
It's
topic?
related. It's
That's
downstairs from a sports show.
Yeah.
The rest
Well, I mean,
They
you was
probably
talking
got
about ripped
TVs,
jeans. See,
which play
that, see
sports.
how that played out. You gotta lay off them triggers. That's all. That's all it is.
wow.
We go rip jeans, and then they start going, and then you know what I mean. It just keeps spinning from there.
They.
Dave,
Like Randy Moss's waves right now.
I defend myself, Steve. That's all I do.
Anyway,
Moss.
please, Quan, go ahead.
we're
please.
gonna go with all the 0-2 teams. One more injury we're gonna talk about. Drew Brees is out for about 6 weeks.
6
He's
weeks.
about to have surgery on his thumb. That looked painful.
Throwing
that.
hand too,
He-
though.
yeah,
so
yeah,
I
he-
think 6 weeks
6
might be
weeks.
optimistic.
That seems really optimistic.
The way he was grabbing that football,
Well,
He
you
couldn't-
mean he
couldn't-
couldn't?
he tried.
couldn't pick it up.
He
bro.
like,
Oh, gosh.
Well, you have to remember he's not a big guy anyway. His hands are small, so
Hands are
like
small,
any
yeah.
any bit of grip that he loses, that's
big deal.
That's all she wrote.
Big thing.
that is true.
I'd like to think though, if it is 6 weeks, I mean, you'd like to think Sean Payton could get 3 wins out of Teddy
I
Bridgewater.
think he can. I
Teddy
like
Bridgewater's
Teddy.
not bad. It just it was a bad spot for him to walk into. Very first game in 2 years, he's got to go against the NFC champs and Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
That's kinda
wrong,
rough.
wrong team to. I mean that very well could be the best team in the NFC that you had to see with your backup.
Well, they got to be the
Second
first
best.
best team in the division first. Next week they play.
They are the best team in the
Next week
division.
they play against the third or fourth best team in the division with Seattle. So
Third best.
they're only half a game up on a.
They're
or-
2 games
or a
up.
Game,
Well, game.
game and a half. Is it?
Seattle does not look good.
I don't know.
Seattle's got so lucky his first two.
First 2 games, they should be 0-2 right now.
Listen, I refuse to say their names. I can't. All their only thing in life is to torment me.
All right, so let's say he's out for the next 6 weeks, and Bridgewater has to play at Seattle.
When?
That's rough.
This week,
Home against the Cowboys.
Oof. I wasn't sure they'd beat him with Brees.
Home against the Buccaneers, which could be their win.
that's a win.
Could be, but I mean the Bucks look very
Bucks are
different.
good.
against-
Thursday. They got a good defense.
Where is
man.
it? Where's that?
That's in
At home, at home.
That's at home.
Although
They'll-
maybe
they'll-
Carolina's
they'll
just
beat
bad.
them. They'll
At
beat them.
Jacksonville, which we're going to talk about one of their defensive players that might not be there. At the Bears,
Well, boy, this is rough.
and then versus the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I mean, there's going to be some wins there because like some of those teams aren't like the Bears should be 0-2. That was a miscarriage of justice that is not being complained about near enough on that timeout.
I'm sorry, but
Bears lost that game.
At the Bears, at Seattle, at home against the Cowboys. I don't remember who the other one was, but
Buccaneers, at Jaguars.
Buccaneers, it's Jaguars, the other
and
one.
at Seattle.
So they're going to be dogs in those 4 games, and yeah, I don't know, man. They're gonna have that's the 4 of those 6 games are going to be dogs.
I mean, and we'll see what Bridgewater's made of. A lot of people liked him a lot.
He was a great player in Minnesota for that knee.
And when he came back last,
great.
And I know it
He
sucked.
was good.
He wasn't great, but
didn't.
he's a
but
good
he had
quarterback.
Promise. He had promise.
He
He's
got
a
back, he got
really
close
young
to,
guy.
He got close to the playoffs.
It's been he made the playoffs.
He made the playoffs.
But he was a really young guy. I mean, he still is. Was he like 26 maybe now?
Yeah, he was younger last year.
He was actually. He'll be older tomorrow.
Yeah.
But he's
26 or 27.
Relatively speaking, as far as quarterbacks that get started in the NFL, he's like Lamar Jackson's like really young when he started, like Alex Smith, like really young when he started. So he doesn't have, and he's had a lot of time since the knee injury. He looked good in preseason last year, so who knows? Now, my only thing is, but here's the question: are they going to play him, or are they going to play Taysom?
No, they definitely are going to play Taysom.
I'm telling you, Taysom's going to get more snaps.
They really
Taysom can't throw.
He's going to get more snaps than he had with Drew Brees.
They think a lot of Taysom Hill.
They love him.
They do.
Everything you hear about him, it's just like
We wish he could throw.
that's the one thing they're not saying.
Because I have seen him throw, and that boy can't throw.
Listen,
He's out there throwing drunk ducks all over the field.
only he throws one time every 3 months. Come on,
Yeah.
Hey,
come on,
But
man.
he's going to be throwing.
You
Cut
should
the
be
guy-
due.
Give the
He will be throwing a lot more. He will be throwing a lot more. I guarantee it with Teddy Bridgewater in there. Because when you have Drew Brees in there, it's like every pass that you're taking out of Drew Brees' hands is,
It was a wide.
unless you're
What he's
running
doing.
like that one wide receiver pass,
Yeah.
that, like the Patriots run.
Mohamed Sanu. Mhm.
Outside of that, two is one too many.
Yeah. Especially if you don't set it up well. So.
Yeah. All right, I want to go through all the 2-0 teams and our overreactions at the beginning of the year. Who is real and who is
Who's fake?
who's fake with these 2-0 teams right now? I'll go down the list. First, the New England Patriots. This is an easy one.
Real.
They're the
Five
best
Nets.
team in the league. By far.
Realist of the real.
Realist of the real.
That's the
Their
realest team.
defense is phenomenal. Their receiving core is probably the best in the
That's-
Their
league.
defense might legit be better than their offense.
And that's a daggone Travis.
Crazy.
They're already plus 70 something through 2 weeks. Yeah, I think they're for real.
And
Now,
I've
granted, they
had
played the Dolphins,
I've hated the Patriots forever, but I'm getting to that point in time
You can't hate them no more. It's
I
just
can.
like
where I still hate them, but there's so much respect that I'm watching them in awe just because this is history. They've been doing this forever. They've done it with different players,
Yep.
and now they have.
They've been cutting corners forever.
what is that? Is hate peppered with respect?
I mean, a little
You
bit.
have to respect excellence at a certain level,
Like,
and
that's
this
the
is
thing,
excellent.
like, you-
And being able to see we're
nothing.
watching this in our day and age, this is history. This is one of the greatest
Especially with the
franchises in
salary
sports
cap.
history.
I'll never be a Patriots fan,
Salary
but
cap.
I've gone from hating to see that they're even on TV
Yeah.
to saying, you know what, I want to see what happens here.
I'll
I
watch.
want to watch.
They about to
them
bake
play.
somebody.
Yeah, it's
Y'all let
It's
them get
pretty
you with the
amazing.
okey
I mean,
doke
it's-
and beat y'all down. They
Yeah,
ain't
I
done
have.
nothing but cut corners for 2 decades. Don't give me the salary cap nonsense. That
Oh,
salary
no.
cap.
They cheated.
The salary
They
cap.
flat out cheated.
Cheated.
I ain't-
ED passed.
Cheating.
They're
They
cheating.
could be cheating
They
right
are
now.
Listen, I see him
cheating
2
right
times
now.
a year.
Hey, listen.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
6 is 6.
They are cheating right now with
That's
that
fine.
Tom Brady contract.
Hey,
Oh,
Of
that's
course.
true. That's true too.
They're
But look,
cheating
but
right
look,
now.
but look. At this point, though, why wouldn't everybody else do it?
I don't want everybody else to do it.
Oh no, do it!
Listen.
Look,
maybe,
in NASCAR,
maybe,
if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Maybe-
But
So,
not only that, but you have to
why
remember.
aren't we doing the
okay,
same
so,
thing?
But you're talking
Maybe
about everybody else
something-
doing it,
We're
but
talking
no
about
one else
sports.
can. No one else can prolong it. Can
Pushing
have
a pedal's
a
not a
career
sport,
for
sorry.
this long.
Yeah.
Holding your liquid in a non-threatening
NASCAR's
situation
not a sport.
for
NASCAR
hours.
drivers aren't athletes.
Oh.
It's an
They don't
endurance
have to hold the
challenge.
liquid.
What?
Yeah, they feed their pants all the time.
they got like they wear diapers or catheters or all kinds
That's
of
just a
stuff.
shame.
But anyway,
Anyway,
You said-
moving on.
you
Apparently
said
so.
why wouldn't everybody else do it? Well, because not everybody else is illegally giving their quarterback all that money, and these
Yeah.
quarterbacks actually want their money because they're worth it. That's
Well,
why everybody else can't do it.
He is getting his money and he knows he's worth it, but he also knows that we're trying to stay up underneath this cap. That's how we keep finagling people like Antonio Brown that are on the
scrap. Believe me when I tell you, he's still getting his money.
Oh no, I know.
And I don't mean like he's getting a discount.
Oh no, he's
getting paid a lot.
Next 2-0 team.
That's fine.
We'll go with.
No, just keep going to division.
I am, Josh.
I
I was doing the anticipation for Dave. The Buffalo Bills, 2-0 right now.
Not
Are
legit.
they for real?
No.
Are they not legit?
They played the 2 New York teams. Neither one of them is good.
Who do they play this week?
They're going to be 3-0. They got the Bengals this week. They get their first home game. They're going to be 3-0.
What do we mean by for real? Like
They could possibly
spot?
be a playoff team because you have to remember they still have they
Playoffs. Are they a legit?
They have 2 Dolphins games.
Legit.
They have the Bengals. They have another Jets game. They have the Washington semi-professional football team. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
definitely.
wins.
Shade
definitely
that's
legit.
thrown
Yeah.
at my way is just
Their
ridiculous.
defense is pretty fantastic.
And so by legit, I'm saying, are they playoff
contenders.
real contenders for the
Yeah,
playoffs,
contenders. Once you
or are
get-
they going to fall off?
If you get in the playoffs in the NFL, you got a chance. You got a shot.
And then we're going to go with the 0-2 teams to see if any are these guys really this bad, or
You have
are
to
they going to
remember,
make the playoffs?
being 2-0 already gives you a over 60% chance to make the playoffs.
Not just that, but they were kind of a dark horse from like sharp bettors in the offseason.
I said they were going to be good. Dave said I was crazy. Moving on.
Here's another thing.
he must
Even
have
when
heard
they
your
made the playoffs, they weren't that good. They're not one of the best teams in the league, but they have a very clear path to the playoffs.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
'Cause, well, they
yeah,
have the
yeah.
Patriot path.
That
Just-
in a sense,
you can
makes
take
Yeah,
it
I
to
mean, they're going to
I
get
don't- it
they're going to
makes-
get handled 2 times this year
And
by
they
the
could
Pats.
still go win 4
And they're
be
gonna go
4 and
for a
2.
division win.
That's not a bad year in your division.
Yeah.
because their schedule is so soft, they have an easier path. Is basically the thing.
That's
so they
right.
look better than what they are on paper. They seem to
But
be
you
better
still
than
have
what
to
they
win the
actually
games.
are.
Defensively, they're good.
100%. Yeah.
I don't trust Josh Allen.
The thing about it is, if they were bad, they wouldn't be beating bad teams. They'd be one of the teams that's losing.
Yeah, that's right.
Just like the teams they beat.
You can only beat the teams on your schedule, Steve.
That's true.
Yep.
No, I'm just.
All right,
I'm
next
just putting
team,
it out
and if
there.
you're watching live, please share the live feed. Call in. Give us your opinion, 702-608-3259. Download the Guerilla Cross app for free. Guerilla Cross, not Grill. Don't download the Guerilla Cross. I'm not sure what.
That's different.
Yeah.
Like LeVar Ball.
Moving on.
like Paul Wall.
Go, like Paul Wall.
Okay,
I was actually-
okay. Coming back to sports. Let me.
That was solid.
Okay, Baltimore Ravens 2-0. Are they for real? Are they legit? Or are they fake?
I think they're for real.
I think they're for real enough in terms of their division because we already said their division is weaker. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers have fallen back and the Browns still aren't ready to ascend, then they have a good shot to, even if Lamar falls back a little bit,
Yeah.
I think we all think but he has looked good. I think even if he falls back a little bit, they still will have enough runway to coast into the playoffs. I think that they have a good shot at the division.
They're going to see
And they're
better.
plus 55 this year. They've played 2 expansion teams pretty much.
Yeah, they.
Yeah.
I mean, Arizona. Kyler looks when he gets settled in, he has looked better than I expected. But I mean, I think that we thought this would be a better division. We didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us thought the Browns were the world beaters that people thought, but we thought that Pittsburgh would be decent.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh looks really bad.
And listen,
Not
Browns are
decent.
only 1-0. They had a horrible first game. We'll see how they bounce back. I mean,
0-1,
0-1, my bad.
0-1, yeah.
They're only 0-1. We'll see how they bounce back from that cream.
That being said, even if we thought the division was better, they haven't played anybody from the division yet. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, I know, honestly, not only do I think they're for real, I think there'll be a number 2 seed in the playoffs.
Ooh.
way it's looking right now.
Lamar looks
you're-
way
LeVar
better than he
looks
does.
really
Lamar,
good.
not
Looking
LeVar.
real good
It's
for a
LeVar.
running back.
Well,
It's-
as bad as he was throwing last year, that's as good as he's throwing this year.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
his throws
Yeah.
look very different.
yes, they
Way
do.
different.
I'll tell you the difference between him
But
last
that's
year.
what you want to see with a player. You want to see
See
the
him
improvement from
progress.
year to year. We deal with that in the NBA where there's players we just haven't seen progress, like Ben Simmons is the main one we could talk about. But
Jinx.
a guy like this, you want to see that progression. Like, okay, you're a rookie. Cool. You might not be good. What are you going to do to
What do you
improve?
exactly?
Well, and especially everyone talking about him like, oh, like, I mean, we've talked about him. Like, Dave.
He
like,
talked about
they're
himself.
great. They're great until Lamar has to throw.
Yeah.
Like, Dave
said
will be
it.
on him all the time.
Well, because it was true.
It was
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was true in college.
Yeah.
It was true in the pros.
Yeah, he said it himself. The difference between him last year and this year is in the playoffs last year, they're down 3 scores, and they were afraid to even throw the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just so that he couldn't throw. Like, they just didn't have the confidence to even run the play.
Yeah.
This last night, they were trying to kill the clock with the lead, and they're calling pass plays
Yeah.
to end the game.
No, you're right.
Huge difference.
All right, Steve.
Oh yeah, they legit.
Okay.
Yeah, they legit. I thought I said it already, but yeah, they. I mean, the Patriots are plus 73. They're in second place with differential plus 55.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Dave said you can only play who in front of you, and so far, like plus 55, beating two professional teams. I mean, it doesn't matter who they are. That's legit. That means that they beat the teams they were supposed to beat.
And
They didn't just
Hollywood
win.
Brown was
It
a
matters
great
a little
draft
bit.
pick for him too.
It matters a little bit when the two
I mean,
teams
yeah,
played
but
the
I'm
same
saying-
team.
Yeah,
It matters a little bit.
but I'm just saying, Hollywood Brown was a great pick for them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Kansas City Chiefs, legit or fake? Steve, we'll start with you.
They always legit. Or well,
Whoa.
the past couple years, they're legit.
Since last year.
100% legit. Mahomes put up was it 4 touchdowns in the second quarter?
Second quarter.
Four in
He
the
just
second
like
quarter.
showed up like, all right, I'm gonna put up these 4 touchdowns. Just make it look so easy, and then it's like, all right, we won.
He had an Al
You know.
Bundy game in a quarter. That's out of hand.
I mean,
That's out of hand.
This man had 350 yards at halftime on 12 completions.
Like that's college
He's-
numbers.
What was his
Insane.
final yards? Yesterday?
444.
Four or something, but those are college
444.
numbers and a half. That's
But by
stupid.
then they're running the clock out. They're
But he's-
definitely legit because he is just the absolute most talented quarterback.
He's
I've
had
ever seen in
exactly
my time.
313 yards in the first half, both of the first 2 weeks.
wow.
Yeah.
300 yards in the
crazy.
first half.
They were
He
down
is
10
carrying
nothing,
Todd's
and we were like,
daggone
oh, okay, this should be a
fantasy
good
team right
game. And
now.
he said, oh, you
Carrying.
think so?
Todd Todd's fantasy team right now is holding on by his Mahomie, and that's about it.
That's all you need, baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So legit, Dave.
Incredibly legit.
Josh.
Legit. Not even.
All
The
right.
only thing that's not legit about them is their defense, and that's why they will once again not beat the Patriots in the playoffs.
I mean, that's
I can't even.
their defense does look better than expected, though.
I mean, it ain't hard to look great when I know we getting 60. Like we gonna get 60. Just don't give up 35. Let's just try to get out
Yeah,
there
it looks better.
and be a decent team. How
looks-
about that?
It looks better when instead of waiting for Eric Berry for 2 straight years, you're like, how about we just put anybody there ever instead of Eric Berry?
Let's put an 11th.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the NFC. The Dallas Cowboys 2-0. Are they legit or fake? Cream, I'll start with you.
Absolutely real, man. I think
I-
that might be the most the most talented team in the NFC. They are really talented.
All right,
Absolutely legit.
Dave.
Man, Dak looks greatly improved. They look complete.
That's
they
the
do.
word.
I don't see any holes offensively or defensively. I don't think they're the best team in the league,
But they're solid.
but
I
I,
think
mean
that-
they're a surefire
Yeah.
Super Bowl contender.
All right, Josh. I just saw the anticipation. You were.
I say this, as bad as you guys talk about the Redskins and as bad as
The who?
We don't talk about
Again.
We don't talk about them.
the Washington football team, either way.
Oh, that's
And also as bad as we say the Giants are, they've beaten 2 bad teams
Yeah.
inside their division. So in one of those was a home game. So I mean, for me, I think that they're a very good team. You say complete. I will say they don't have very many weaknesses because we know their defense greatly improved last year. So I'm still waiting to see kind of how. I mean, we know who Zeke is. I think that I still don't know. I'm still reserving judgment just because I'm a Redskin
The
fan.
problem
I
with
don't like
what
the
you just said
Cowboys.
about they played those 2 weak division teams is they still have to play them again.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So if they're weak
They-
they'll
yeah.
be weak later.
Yeah.
They got two Eagles games, and the Eagles don't exactly look
They don't like
fantastic.
they don't like world beaters yet. No.
Nope.
But that throw that Wentz made last night, jeez. 1 millimeter away from being down.
Seriously, right?
That's crazy. Esteban?
Oh, I have to say that they're legit. I mean, it's obviously they have it all together. I'm still not 100% sold on Dak, although he has been more impressive than I thought he would be. So
he's making reads now.
yeah, I mean, he looks a lot better than
Like a
I thought
saxophone
he would
player.
look. But I'm just in the
Which
back
another
of my mind
young
is
player that's improving. I mean,
Yeah.
you work on what the
Right.
critics are saying is wrong with your game, and you don't sulk in that. You use that to get better.
they're the Cowboys, and I just know that they're going to find a way to self-sabotage and
Very true.
It's going to
Let's
come
hope.
down to some
We can
controversial
only
play,
hope.
and they'll be out in the first round of the playoffs again. So
And they better do it this year.
that's
Because after this year, they ain't signing nobody
Yeah, they
else.
can't sign
That's
anybody.
it,
And
everybody.
if anybody gets hurt, then
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but they've got a little bit more depth because I mean, you know, you think about Sean Lee in the past. Whenever Sean Lee would go down, it's like, oh, our defense is screwed.
Well, that's
Vander Esch looks good.
like you
Really
brought
good.
up Eric Berry. I'm just saying, you waiting for Sean Lee every year. They were so dependent. It's like
Yeah.
he was playing, their defense was good.
And they
He
were-
wasn't
yeah.
playing, their
Their
defense
defense was trash.
And they were like,
unless they
forget
played
this,
the
we're done
Redskins.
with this.
Yeah, you can't keep playing that game with somebody. I mean, the Eric Berry one is far more unfortunate,
Yeah.
but the Sean Lee one, it's just he's always hurt.
Yeah,
Fantastic player, always hurt.
yeah. Safety's a little bit tough too. That's a tough position when you find a world class one. Like I feel like middle linebacker is great, and it's a tough spot to fill, but it can be filled.
Easier to fill than
Yeah.
a top tier safety.
Man, you have a great safety that's a all pro.
All right, moving on. NFC North, the Green Bay Packers are 2-0.
I didn't know they were 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, because their first game was a long time ago, the
Yeah.
opening night, which was a Thursday against the Bears, and it was a bad game.
That's right.
Dave, are they for real or fake?
They are not for real. They clearly already have issues with LaFleur and Rodgers because LaFleur is trying to take control of the team, and Aaron Rodgers is not having that.
Like, bro, what
There's
you
some
doing?
weird stuff with Aaron Rodgers. I can't really explain. Their defense is much improved, but they're not. I don't think
just not the
they're
same.
They're good, but they're going to be. It looks like they're relying a lot on defense this year.
That's never been their philosophy under Rodgers.
But Aaron Rodgers is 500 over like the last couple years, if you look at it. So it's like he's getting numbers, but they're not winning.
Yeah.
I don't think they're for real.
I don't think it's a problem with Rodgers. I just don't think LaFleur is ever good to begin with, just because he has McVay's name on his resume.
Wait a minute. He has the Redskins' name on his resume. That's how he got that.
The only people who say that name are them. So no, he does not.
Yeah, he didn't get hired because of them. He
Yeah.
got hired because he. Right
And
now, it's hot to get
also,
hired. If
by
you're
the way,
Touch McVay.
everyone keeps saying it's McVay, but McVay comes from the real innovator, Kyle Shanahan. That's all.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
yeah. Excuse me.
Wow.
What? Excuse me. This is my turn, sir.
He comes
Anyway.
from the Shanahan tree,
This is my
which
turn, sir.
then
Thank you.
became.
We'll be talking about God soon.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We'll talk about better O. Shanahan in a little bit.
Not
All right, proceed.
But I don't think LaFleur's. I never thought he was that great. They're having a problem with it. Maybe it gets fixed later in the year. I think they can still win the division because I don't know how great the division is. But you know what? That's okay
Yeah.
for once that he's letting the defense and running game carry him. It's
He's-
fine.
he's earned the right.
You're saying,
and
you're
real
saying,
quick,
yeah,
Monday
five-
night has started. I know we kind of picked on Thursday.
Yeah, we all pick Cleveland. Pretty unanimous.
Yeah,
I'm
we all
pretty
picked
sure.
Cleveland. Okay, just want to make sure.
But you know what? Even if he's been 500 last 2 years, it's not supposed to be that way. He's not supposed to be the quarterback calling every single play and doing every single audible and then holding the ball so
Yeah.
the defense doesn't ever have to get on the field.
'Cause they're that
so that's
bad.
okay. That's okay that it's different.
All right,
Can I-
Steve. Oh,
Sorry. I just have one weird question. Has anybody ever noticed that, I mean, except for like the 1-2 times he tries to get people to jump, Aaron Rodgers has the exact same snap cadence all the time. He always says green 19, and on the second green 19, they snap it. With like 2 exceptions a game to like keep people on their toes. I don't know why more NFL teams aren't on this.
because my release
Because
is
if
so
I
fast,
notice it,
don't
that
even
means
matter.
it's. But I'm just saying,
Whoa.
if I notice it, that's weird.
I'm sure they've noticed it.
It don't even matter.
But I get it. But it's just like,
But but see, here's the thing with that. It's not just the 2 times a game, because you know how many times he catches guys running off the field. He's the king of that, and I hate that play. But he catches guys running off the field all the time.
he's very smart.
So it's like you said, the 2 times a game where he doesn't do it, that could be enough to keep guys off.
Right.
And not just that, but
And there's
he's got
different
great-
speeds.
he's got
He has
great
different
tackles.
speeds at it. He has different speeds.
it took a long time, but he's got great tackles.
because he does the one long one sometimes, and then it'll come back real fast.
All right, moving on. NFC South. Moving on because none of those
Yeah, I
are
was about to
2-0.
say.
And man, we're gonna be here
It's
for
like-
a long time
Good
because
Lord,
it's
that
like
NFC
whole division.
West.
It's like we had a preview show that said the same thing. It's weird.
Pretty much. Wow, there's so many teams to choose from in this division.
All of them
We'll start
almost.
with the Los Angeles Rams. Steve, for real or fake?
Oh, they for real, bro.
Oh, here we go.
They done gave Ty Gurley the ball this week.
He didn't do much.
They gave him the same amount of carries
Yeah,
as last
touchdown.
week, by the way.
No,
Same amount of carries last
he
week.
didn't do much. He just got a little touchdown. That's all. But
He's
Nah,
he's your running back. That's your
sometimes.
Running back? Yeah, that's your running back.
He's my running
I
back in
just
my
hate
fantasy.
seeing Steve gloat about this team when last year at this very
At
moment.
this very moment, he
on-
hated this team so much.
A year ago, on this day,
Yeah.
we had to convince him to be a fan.
Why I got to bring up the pass all the time, man?
I'm not here to talk about the past.
Right, let's
This
talk about
hard.
You better mark Mark
Okay, all
McGuire in this
right.
situation.
We moving forward.
Mark McGuire is. I'm not here to talk about the past.
All right,
It's like,
Dave.
well, actually, yeah, you were. They're the defending NFC champions. They have Aaron Donald. Jared Goff is better than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
Sean McVay,
That's
as we already
sometimes
know,
worse than people give him credit for.
Is
I
it-
don't know. He's one of those. He's just one of those players. Some people overhype him. Some people underhype him. It's a weird.
There's no consensus.
I don't
he's
see him
a
get
true-
overhyped.
I see him get overhyped a lot
I've seen
By
him be
who?
overhyped.
Sometimes.
By who?
Sometimes.
by people that overhype him.
I just know he puts a lot of
Over media
passes exactly in the right spot multiple times a game.
Yep.
And that's with Todd Gurley not being Todd Gurley anymore. So, and like I said, you have Aaron Donald on the other side of the ball. They're clearly for real. McVay, I'm sure, learned from the woodshed treatment he got, his offense got in that Super Bowl.
All right, Kareem.
My thing with them is that a lot of people don't like Goff, and they say it's because the team around them is so good. Well, the team's still there. So, yeah, for real. It doesn't matter why he plays the way he plays. All of those things that were in place are still there.
Yeah.
Well, and they bring back Cooper Kupp miraculously.
And he looks so good. He looks
Yeah. Josh.
For real.
All right. All right, moving on to the next team, the Seattle Seahawks. Dave, for real or fake?
And not for real. They've had a game at home. They played the Bengals. I mean, then we saw what the Bengals did in week 2. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. I don't think they're for real. They have a lot of holes. That loss of Doug Baldwin for them is huge because he is so necessary to.
I was paying attention to our stuff.
You'll see. He is so necessary to Russell Wilson's success, and for him to not be there,
And this is why we
really
can't have a
missing
6
him.
o'clock show.
That was a great catch. That was a great catch by
We
OBJ.
need at least the first hour of.
That was a great catch by
So
OBJ.
anyway,
we
not
gotta move on.
Not for real. Not to
Not
me.
for real. All right, Kareem, on the count of 3, let's say it at the same time. Real or fake? 1, 2, 3. Fake.
However, just so that the Seattle guys don't
Yeah,
be
you gotta
offended,
be
they are
cautious.
the best team in the NFC West, and I can't wait till they win the Super Bowl. Thank you.
That doesn't work for me. They're fake.
It happens.
All right, Josh, real or fake?
Looking at their schedule, I'd actually say real. I'm always usually more of a proponent of.
And
Russell
what is
Westbrook.
their schedule? Give us some of the teams.
They play. All right, so this week they've got the Saints coming with Teddy
Teddy
Two Gloves. Thanks, Dave. I was trying to pull it out.
Triple T.
Whoa,
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 whoa.
whoa.
That's what she said.
Let's see. Then they've got
Fumble.
they've got the Cardinals the week after that. Then they have the Rams. Then they got the Browns in Cleveland. Then they have the Ravens in
That's not an
in
easy.
Seattle.
That's not an easy schedule though.
It's not, but a lot of those are home games and a lot of those are winnable games. They've got the Bucks on their schedule.
You know what else is winnable? The Bengals, and they almost lost it.
Yeah, they tried.
True, they tried.
Yeah.
And they almost lost to Pittsburgh without Big Ben.
They tried.
And they're
But
going to
that's
lose
just
to the Niners
that's just the way
without
they.
winning a single game all year.
That's just the way that they play though. They like Russell Wilson is always in those kind of dog
Yeah.
fights where he comes back or it's down to the wire. That's just the type of like they
No,
don't.
he
cover.
definitely. I mean, he wins games they shouldn't win.
Yeah, they just don't cover. So
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing them like that. Like, oh, they're not a good team, and then they just keep scraping
Yeah.
by. Like you have to like really put your foot on their throat to beat them.
I'll
That's
say
just
this:
the way they
DK,
are. All right.
DK Metcalf looks pretty.
Oh, he's
decent.
legit.
I thought he was perfect for that team.
Still, those
I
hands.
didn't think he'd be great for everybody, but for that team,
Yeah.
perfect.
bad.
All right. I think that's it. Oh wait, I think
wish
there's
it
one
was.
more team.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
wish
Did
there's one more
something
team.
else?
Cream,
occur?
Cream, dip your head down a little bit to see the. Okay, there we go. San Francisco. Okay. 49ers 2-0 on the count of 3. Cream, real or fake? 1, 2, 3. Real.
Hey-oh. Listen,
Lord help us.
we're not even going to talk about the offense. That
What?
defense right now,
All right. It looks good.
it looks
really
really
good.
good.
Really
And
good.
when we talk about the player we talk about later, if this was last year,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, yeah, let's get that guy.
Yep.
These cornerbacks, Sherman looks like he's back, and Witherspoon looks even better than him. Quan Alexander's everywhere. That defense is legit. Bosa looks good.
And the defense is actually helping Sherman look better because he was kind of last year was rough.
Last year was rough. First year off the Achilles.
Yeah, exactly.
He looks a lot.
He definitely
better.
looks a lot healthier this year.
Would you say he was their Achilles heel last year?
All right.
The answer is no.
Josh, what do you think?
No,
What?
no,
What?
that is all.
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Nothing else to say.
Wow.
Analyze your no. Why no?
No, I don't need to analyze.
Give us some analysis.
I don't believe
Why?
you guys are on your 17th running back already. Eventually, it's gonna
17th?
start to break down.
Only
It's
one.
all right.
One guy's hurt. That's it.
Yeah, only one.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
So because-
let my no just be a no. Thank you.
No, I mean we're a sports show, so we analyze everything.
Okay.
We have as many hurt running backs as you. What are you talking about?
You don't got a Hall of Famer on the bench. Just
Well-
saying.
Wow.
Let's call a spade.
On the bench because he
Did
doesn't
he-
want to play special teams.
Was
Because he's not
he
that-
allowed to
not that
dress
good.
on week one?
That's just the
To
Redskins
even
stupidity.
ask that man
I don't even
to
know
play
how-
special teams,
Oh,
it's
No,
just
they wouldn't have.
No, they didn't. That was the whole reason why they didn't play
Not
him.
going
Okay,
Yeah,
to.
he ain't playing.
we've talked about that team
That's enough.
way too long.
I know.
Dave, real or fake?
We're 0-2.
just looking at the rest of the NFC. I mean, I guess you'd have to say real because they certainly look like a playoff team right
Okay,
now.
You hurt my heart.
Well, no, I'm just saying if you go through the divisions,
You can either. Be
I could see
stubborn.
them and the Rams in the playoffs. You're getting you're only going to get one team out of the South. You might get two teams out of the East, and maybe you only get one team out of the North.
Yeah.
I
feel like Detroit is actually not as bad as I thought they were going to be.
I
they
think
will.
Detroit's still bad.
No,
They
I don't
always
think
will.
they're bad. I think their coach is the worst coach in football. The worst coach in football.
You
Yeah,
just
I mean,
don't
Jay
like
Gruden
Patricia.
does have something to say
because
about
he's
that.
not good. I would take Jay Gruden over Matt Patricia.
Oh, I would
every
too.
single day.
I would too.
Not
Who
even
wouldn't
close.
raise their hand?
Matt Patricia is awful.
Matt Patricia might be the worst. Him or Dan Quinn is also still bad.
Dan Quinn's pretty bad.
Doug Marrone is not great.
Doug Marrone's stupid.
Okay.
This man tried to go fight a 24-year-old yesterday.
He
Hey,
also
Doug Marrone's still
put
a
the
big
ball
man.
in Leonard
Doug Marrone
Fournette's
would've got
hands
the
when
breath
Gardner
beat off him.
Minshew was on fire at that point in the game. On fire. Why that you were going for two? It's like go for two, fine, but put it in Minshew's hands at that point.
Well, I don't know what the. Listen, I'm not going to act like I'm
All right.
smarter than Doug Marrone. I
And
don't know what
real
the
quick, let's
defensive
go through
lineup
the
was.
0-2 teams that we think might actually be legit that just haven't won their first two games.
Unnecessary.
Okay, so
He just killed my whole segment.
Unnecessary.
This segment's
Unnecessary.
unnecessary.
Unnamed unnecessary.
So in our,
mic off.
in our
Sports segment.
unnecessary
sports
segment,
show.
Go for it, Quan. Do your thing.
Miami Dolphins 0-2.
No.
Fake.
Wow,
Skip
next.
it.
Everyone.
They suck.
Pittsburgh Steelers 0-2.
Finished.
They're
Not
bad.
done.
They're finished
Not
now.
good. Not good. No, Ben. Not good.
Yeah, I think they finished now.
I think Mason Rudolph will be their starter as we go forward. I think he's got high hopes, but Juju's learning the hard way that being the number one guy
I told y'all that beginning
is
of the
very
season.
different than being the number two with
I
Antonio
think
Brown
we
getting all that
all
attention.
agreed that he
Yeah.
wasn't as good as Antonio Brown.
No. But some were saying, "Oh, don't worry, Juju's
I thought
number
he'd be-
one.
I thought he would be
He gonna
good.
be all right." And I was like, when they start
I never
rolling that
thought it
covers
was.
to you, it's a different.
It's a
It's a
whole
different.
different ball
It's a
game.
different NFL when you start getting
Yeah.
game plan for.
But you got a quarterback with a no elbow trying to throw to him
Yeah, that's
also.
that's
so.
totally that's that.
And
that
I also
was-
think that Juju's numbers are a little deflated, like because he hasn't had that huge Antonio Brown game yet. But first week he had 6 for 84,
Yeah, he
and
got solid yards.
He's a good player.
He's good.
It's
He's a good
just
player.
it's
He ain't
tough.
Antonio
it's tough to be
Brown.
number
He's
one.
not.
But Steeler fans even said, well, we don't need Antonio because we have Juju. So
That's foolish.
that was
Trade
Remember
me and
that-
see
remember
what
that- remember
trade
that-
me and see what happens.
Remember all those addition by subtraction people? All we have to do is get rid of Antonio. No, that's not all you have to do. You have to replace him.
Yeah.
That's not all you got to
Can't
do.
just keep cutting out.
Oh my gosh, what a horrible
cutting
quarterback.
limbs.
Why does he look like that?
I don't know.
Yikes.
That's worse than Eli.
Oh, wow.
Jesus, that's a young
He
Eli.
does
There's
look
a
like
contender.
Eli a little bit, right?
Ooh, he got a touch of Eli.
that
in
All
him.
right,
Is that
we're
Cooper
talking
Man?
about what everyone's watching on TV right now. In case you guys are watching, have no
I'm
clue.
here.
Trevor Simeon, if we needed to.
Yeah.
Just
No,
say
nobody
that.
cares about him. Keep going.
All right, Bengals 0-2.
Terrible.
Nope. Terrible.
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 They're not good.
Jacksonville Jaguars 0-2. I think this is one of the 0-2 teams that I actually like that could possibly in the AFC South
They're in a division.
They could get that division still.
Division's
I don't know
only
if they get
1-1.
the division.
Who they quarterback now?
Minshew, and Minshew's looked all right.
Minshew's looked fine.
I mean,
He's looked Nick Foles.
And it was his first. It was his first game too. His first game starting, and their first game was Kansas City. I don't know if there's anybody who's beating Kansas City in week 1 any season.
Or week 16.
You're right, but still, when it's your first time seeing them, on the regular season, that they just walked into a death trap right there.
Yeah,
That was unfair.
So I feel like
and they
could
could have won yesterday.
That was a face.
And let's not forget, there's still only a game out of first right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
You know
The
what I'm
whole division's 1-1, but then
Yeah, that's true.
so it's hold on.
I think they could be legit. I've liked their games, even in their losses. They've done a lot of good stuff in their games. So
They still have a good defense that got obscured by the fact that they played Patrick Mahomes week 1.
yeah,
they play the Titans next week at home.
But I guess
that'll be a
That'll be the one. That'll be the game that
that's
find
the
out.
season.
But
If
I
they
guess-
win that one, they're right back
It
in.
also depends, though. Are they still going to have the best cornerback in the league on their team when they play him?
They will.
yeah. We'll talk about that.
No. He's gone. They're trading him.
Not
We'll
this
talk about that soon. All
I
right,
thought-
Denver
talking about
Broncos 0-2. They should be 1-1.
They absolutely should be 1-1.
Yesterday's game was, I mean,
That was garbage.
Dave, real or fake?
Fake.
I think they're better than people expected. I think this is probably that loss to the Raiders looked bad, but they played better against the Bears than they probably should have because Trubisky is trash. But I have to say they should be 1-1. So if you shouldn't be 0-2.
Trubisky has looked bad this year so far.
Trubisky looked bad most of last year. Trubisky is
Trubisky
not
never
good.
looked good ever.
Trubisky is terrible.
I don't know
Trubisky
about
had
that.
He had one game where he didn't throw
Trubisky had the
interceptions.
third highest QBR in the league last year.
Just
saying,
okay.
He was good
y'all
last
be
year.
killing this
Listen,
man.
he was
He's
good
not
last
This
that
man,
bad.
they traded up for him in a draft that had
That's-
Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
See, listen, here's my saying. That's all well and good. What I'm saying is you can tell the truth about Trubisky and still call him bad. We don't have to make things up.
Yeah.
Last year, he was the third highest rated QBR in the league.
I still didn't like
Hit
him
him with
last
those
year.
backs. Kareem.
Well, I'm just saying.
Skyhook in there.
Don't get me wrong.
Thank
He had times where he didn't look good. I wasn't a believer after watching him that first game against Minnesota. And I'm looking at some of these throws, and I'm like, those should be completions. And they're bouncing off receivers' hands. Well, yeah, they're behind him, and he's throwing them into linebackers. So I still think Denver's trash, but I could see Denver winning 7 games. So if that's what we're talking about, we're not talking about competing for playoffs.
No. I'm just saying
Just being a lot better than their 0-2
I can
record.
see them winning
They're better-
6-7 games.
they're better than being 0-2, and any team that
But
has
at the same time, like, at least
any team that has
going
Bradley
for the
Chubb
play-
and
for a
Von Miller
playoff.
coming off the edges, that's somebody you
Still
have to
a
worry
solid-
about
still
every
solid.
week.
Still a solid team.
All right, moving on. NFC North, nobody there either. All right, NFC South Carolina Panthers 0-2.
Cam's in trouble, man.
They'll get it together. They always do.
I think.
I don't know.
They have the Cardinals
this
this
season.
week.
They
Cardinals
always
this
think
week. Cardinals in
That's a big game
Cardinals
for them.
in Phoenix.
They always do.
Big game for them.
Cam is not right.
They have
Okay.
the Texans. They have the Texans the following week in Houston, so they're on the road the next 2 weeks, and then they have the Jags. So they have
I think
they
their last
definitely
game.
have a.
I think their game against Tampa was very winnable. I think they should have won that game.
They played the Rams very tough in week 1,
Yeah.
and McCaffrey's really good.
So I think they are a team that could bounce back.
You just
And
gotta
I
do it.
trust them to bounce back out of any of the 0-2 teams, to be honest.
I don't trust Cam right now. He's not okay.
Yeah, I don't trust
Right.
anybody on that
That's-
team right
Well,
now.
okay,
Fantastic,
all right.
but-
So look,
Yeah.
to get
Guys
back
do
to 2
get
and
better.
2, to get back to 2 and 2, they have to beat the Cards and the Texans. I think they
Very
can beat,
winnable games,
I
yeah.
can think they can beat both of those teams.
Texans are really good, though.
The Texans are a good team and it's on the road, but I mean,
Yeah.
like that's not like saying, oh, we got to go play the
Patriots or-
yeah,
no,
or the Chiefs.
Ain't no Bill O'Brien team in the history of life ever going to be really good.
Fair.
The Texans are decent.
They're a good team.
They're good. They might have some good talent. I make them a good team. They have a terrible coach.
It's also true.
Next team.
Isn't that your coach, Dave?
Yeah.
So weird.
I don't know why you did that.
Why did
I
you
thought
do
their
that?
division was just going to be trash, and I was just picking what I thought was
them
a clear
included.
playoff.
And we said the
I
winner of
felt
the
like I was
division was
just
going to go
picking a clear
9 and
playoff
7.
team.
You
man.
should have known from you being the only hush of the crowd during that draft. When
All
you
right.
said that, we were
I
like,
hated it at the time.
Arizona's 0-1-1, so we can't really count them, but they are who they are.
But they're not supposed to
gonna
be good right now.
Yeah, they're not going to be good. NFC East. The New York Giants are 0-2.
They're terrible.
I think that's who they are. They're not a good team at all.
Poor Saquon. Poor Saquon.
Demand a trade. And the other really bad team in that division is the Washington Football Squad. They're 0-2 also. Dave, what do you think about them?
I think their coach is garbage. I think that most of their players are garbage. I think their owner is the lowest form of garbage. I think a lot of their fans are suspect at best. I think that they are trash. Trash on top of trash.
Josh,
and Kevin Durant can go be
turn.
fans with them forever and a day.
Josh, you'll have your turn. This is Dave's thing.
Yeah, it's my time, please.
Go ahead.
I have not ceded the floor yet.
Have your time. Have your time.
Listen, I have not ever overcome the hatred for Mark Rippon.
That's fine.
So
That's right. The Rip
right.
did you in.
Steve, are they better
Steve,
than their
wake up.
0-2 record? I know.
No, I'm listening to them just.
Steve was on
Steve,
stuck.
did you just
Like
fall
he
asleep
was.
with your eyes open? Like, what was it?
Steve legit
Somebody
was Draymond
started-
Green. Steve, you were like, it was like Steve.
Yeah, somebody started smoking weed again.
Oh, that
We
ain't
were
right.
we were on the third hand lift up. Like that was it. We almost rang the bell. Yeah.
I'm still here, baby.
the Hulkster one start doing this.
That was great. That's great.
No, I mean, all of the NFC 0-2s are gonna be like 0 and they gonna
No,
be
don't
0
do
forever.
Dang,
They gonna
bro,
be
you just
over.
going 0-16
No,
me, huh?
the only real
Well,
one
gotta play
forever
each
is
other.
Miami.
At some point, y'all gonna, somebody's
play
gotta
each
win a
other.
game. Like, yeah, but,
Great.
Can't tie everything.
It's a rebuilding squad. I feel like they're on the right track, but not this year. They're done.
How do you feel about Peterson? I mean,
Adrian
Adrian.
Peterson. Who I've never heard of her.
His football playing or his parenting?
Okay, switching to
which kid?
Josh.
Which kid?
Go in on everything about my team.
Switching to Josh.
All right, let's go ahead and just.
Oh, here come the stats that say they're
No.
not terrible.
No. The stats say we suck.
Hey, Josh, are they? Are they? Can they get into the playoffs?
No, probably.
What?
Probably.
Probably not. And I mean, look, and it really comes from the gauntlet of the first 4 games. Well, first 5. If they mess around, if we mess around and beat
What
the
about
Bears,
the first 8 months of the year?
Anyway, if we mess around and beat the Bears this week, we have the Giants the following week.
Which is a winnable game.
we
the way
have the,
Bears
Gi- we have the
have been playing.
Giants. We have the Giants the following week. Now we do back that up with the Patriots, and that's a loss. But if we are able
Wow,
to,
you could legit be 0-5.
you saying we losing to the Giants too?
They can
at least-
beat the Giants.
At least
Two bad
once.
teams playing
At least
against
once
each
this
other.
year.
I mean it's possible.
Anything
It
can
is
happen.
in New York. So
Oh, if you start
never
out
know.
0-5, week 6, we're bringing a kid in.
Hey, you know what? Listen,
We're not even
It's-
gonna tell you which week we bring him
No,
in.
and see, that's what I was about to
No,
say. I was
I'm
just
gonna
about to say
liquidate
that.
Josh is
mathematically
legit-
eliminated.
I was legit
when
gonna
you're
say,
mathematically eliminated,
I
he's
have
just
to
gonna be sitting
have-
here.
I have to have
gonna
a
see
week's
someone.
notice.
Nope.
No, you're not. That is not. I'll walk out.
Do you wanna-
I'll straight up walk out. I'll be like, nope. That's not how the
I
bet.
will have the kid follow you. We'll take the camera down the hallway.
Oh, that's
Do you wanna
That
remind-
was never specified in the bet.
Do you want to remind everyone what the bet is?
again the team with the best finish. So best record.
No. Stop.
Best record,
Stop.
fine.
Not you, Quan. You want to remind everyone what the bet is?
Josh will have to interview a stuttering kid soon.
That's all right.
And Josh is not very good.
He's not good with
He's
stuttering
not good
kids.
with no.
Oh no, not good at all. But
no,
like
no,
I
no.
said, as long as I know what the trigger words are, I can stay away. I can dance through the laser beams.
I'm about to create a whole line of bets.
You're gonna start laughing before just when you see the kid sitting there. There's no way you're not gonna
I'm
laugh.
not. He's still a kid.
I'm taking bets on my
It's just-
Cash App.
I
I'm
just-
not
I
playing.
just-
I'm giving odds too.
I gotta.
'cause
You're
like,
making
I gotta,
those home moves?
See,
We're gonna make
Cash
some-
what,
App
I,
involved?
what I will say,
Make
this
some
is
money.
this is the thing that does not make me. This is the thing that makes me the most nervous. Though I will say this. Anyway, the thing that does make me the most nervous is I don't know what he's gonna sound like. So I don't know if it's gonna be a. I don't know, and so that's gonna be troubling because when he starts to jump into it,
What was that? Some reggaeton right
yeah,
there?
hey! I'm trying to tell you, you haven't heard the people that click. That joint is bad.
No.
Whoa.
Next.
Whoa!
All right.
Yeah, it's bad.
Thank
so
God I didn't say that.
Next.
just saying. What reggaeton?
Yeah, reggaeton. That was the bad word.
Reggaeton's the bad
I
word.
said people that click.
Oh, gosh.
Bernie Mac had a whole daggone set.
Okay, Bernie Mac's
Mac's
dead.
allowed to.
Yeah, well,
And he's
Bernie
dead.
Mac died.
I would not
And
be.
he died in an early age.
Yeah, we don't know where he went after that. Anyway,
Josh will laugh either way.
Oh God.
All right, let's talk about the player that wants to be traded. Jalen Ramsey got into it with his coach a lot. I mean, it was pretty bad. I'm not sure who's at fault with that, but it was.
If you're the coach, you're definitely at fault because Doug Marrone.
You need to walk away.
It was egging it on further
Because
You
it was
can't do
done,
that as
and
a
then he
coach.
came back to the player.
Yeah, he went back to get back in his face.
And I halfway blame the other coaches because the other coaches need to stop that too before he even gets back over there.
they got jobs too.
But a lot of their jobs is to stop the coach
but
from.
it was other players that
Committing
pulled,
career
that pulled
suicide.
Other,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Other
about.
players pulled Doug Marrone back. The coaches did not get involved.
other
didn't
players
get
look like they might have wanted to like jump in on that.
How it started was there was a play to DeAndre Hopkins and Jalen Ramsey said that ball hit the ground.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, coach, I'm telling you hit the ground, have my back. And the coach is like, I don't know if it's worth a challenge. And that's where it started. I think Ramsey was all about, hey, you're supposed to have my
Gotta
back.
trust your best defensive
You gotta
player.
trust. Yeah, exactly. And he didn't. And then he got pulled away, which, maybe he shouldn't have got that upset. But once he got pulled away, it's over. And if you're a coach, you got other things to think about. You got other players that are still going. And he went over there to him. And there was somebody on Twitter who was like, hey, I grew up with him. He's from the Bronx. Well, people from the Bronx got beat up a lot. I don't want to hear that. Patrick Ramsey would walk.
When did you ever go to the Bronx?
Who?
You. Have you ever been to the Bronx?
I'm from Brooklyn, number one. Second of all, Jabroni.
Brooklyn, son.
Second of all, I said
He's from Brooklyn.
Second,
Not the
second of
Bronx.
all, second
They
of
right
all,
down the
I
street from
said,
each other, man.
No, they ain't.
second of all, I said
Close
on
enough.
Twitter, somebody said that.
Yeah.
That Marone is from the Bronx.
Okay, but then you poo-hoo
people
the Bronx.
from the Bronx. No. I'm saying just because you're from the Bronx, I mean you can't get beat up by somebody who's half your
Beat up
age.
by a
Just 'cause there's-
That's all I'm
27-year-old
saying.
And just because there's
crazy in
tough
shape
people.
dude.
Football
All I'm
player.
saying is Doug Marone was the daggone offensive lineman. You don't just be claiming no victory on no offensive lineman. That's
Probably
what I'm
takes
saying.
20 minutes to get out of bed.
And Jalen Ramsey also might not be.
don't do
See?
it. Don't
Okay.
do it.
So
What
that's
is that?
so
Hold on.
look.
What
yeah.
is that? What does that matter?
What?
What does that have to do with anything?
What does that have
What?
to do with anything? That means he still can't beat somebody down.
It means it might be a little bit more of a
Okay, let's-
questionable
let's-
fight.
let's-
That's
You're
what I'm
out
saying.
of your mind.
You're out of your
Oh,
That's
all
hold
right.
on, wait, let me ask
All
a question.
right, all right,
So
all right.
you think
Steve.
that hold on. Hey,
Josh is like, there's somebody on my back.
Let's call it what it is. We know what he's saying. Are you telling me that every single MMA fighter that's ever been a pro fighter was heterosexual? Every single one of them?
No.
So somebody's been beaten up by a homosexual
Sure.
before, right? Okay, then thank you.
Sure. I'm saying,
Hey.
listen, that wasn't what I
Oscar
was
De
saying.
La Hoya beat up a lot of people.
Goodbye.
And we got proof that
He
man
was a world
you know what I'm
champion.
saying? Hey.
I think
You're
there's
the world champion.
I think there's some photos in the group chat about that.
There
So
are.
basically, Josh, by your statement, because Patrick
Okay.
Ramsey, Jalen Ramsey,
Nice
may
way to
be
bring the
gay.
Redskins back in.
Maybe gay.
Because
no,
his
no.
voice is a little soft.
No, no, no.
Like, you're
I
saying
was just
that, like,
saying
if
he's
he
a little
squares
bit
up on
he's
you,
a
he's
little
in
bit
trouble?
delicate. I'm just saying he's a little bit
Hey,
delicate.
He's delicate?
And he's going
He's
up against an
delicate?
offensive
All
lineman.
I'm saying
Okay,
is
hold on.
the
Everybody,
G's
stop.
driving the
stop.
car for a
okay,
reason.
Okay, well, hold on. There's 5 of us. We can't all talk at once. There you go. Steve, go ahead.
I'm just saying that the G's are driving the car for a reason. Some of them can square up.
Yeah.
And I will never say that a person, based on their sexual orientation,
No, that wasn't what I was saying.
may not be able to put the flu flams on somebody.
That was no. Listen, real
That's
quick.
exactly what you were saying.
Listen. First off, I didn't say it. I
Strongly implied it.
I sat there. And I just gave y'all dead air. So that was first and foremost. That's one. Two, I'm just saying again. They're in 2 different weight classes. You can't just be saying, look, that's like just saying that me and Dave gonna fight, and I'm gonna
No, it's
I'm gonna
not.
just knock Dave out.
Dave
is a much
you
bigger
guys,
man.
You guys don't have a 25-year age difference.
Okay, he is from an age where they did fight all
This
the time.
is ridiculous. You
Jalen
are really
Ramsey
arguing
isn't.
about a 50-something-year-old against a 23-year-old. Stop.
Hey, all
This
right.
is ridiculous.
Hey,
One of the highest level athletes in the world.
I'm gonna send you
And
a video.
he's soft all of a
I'm gonna
sudden.
send you a video.
He's soft all of a sudden.
Their generation is a little soft.
Okay, good. Send me 10 videos because I can send you 10 from 23-year-olds. Okay, then.
It is what it is, Brees. It is what it is.
He sure didn't seem.
You show it talk kind of aggressive.
I ain't got no problem.
That's how he said it to me. I was like, okay, my bad.
As
bro.
Kareem would tell you, he sure did look soft for the Seminoles. That's for sure.
He showed it looked up then. And he ain't backed out from not one receiver yet. And they've all tried to fight him.
I will say that. I can give him that. I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying.
Don't just be throwing an offensive lineman out there like he can't
With
he
the
can't
old
throw
man
or at least
strength.
sit
He
on
was
somebody.
Dog walk.
Okay, well he ain't getting picked up. I'll tell you that much right now.
But I'm just
this
saying,
ain't WWE.
You don't think Ramsey bench presses?
Bro, he ain't. He's about to scoop plex a 300-pound man.
No, he's not going to have to. He would land 6 shots before Doug Marrone knew he was in a fight.
Oh God, All
Marrone
right.
ain't been on the juice in a while, bro. You get slow after that.
More like the juicer.
He's been on the juicer. That's different.
I gotta get out of here. You guys are done.
You did this to yourself.
Hey,
That's
listen.
exactly what Jalen would say.
As Doug Marrone
Did
was
he
looking
say
at
that?
the lights.
That's what he would.
Oh, there
There
you
should
go.
be no
Green.
Florida State
There
slander.
you go.
Do you guys think Jalen Ramsey will stay, or is he getting traded?
He getting traded.
Because he requesting a trade.
Doug Marrone is too stubborn. He's gone. He's gonna say he's gonna use that whole team first thing, and they're 0-2. Then they're gonna trade him.
We're gonna
Then
trade
they-
our best player because it's team first.
And then they're gonna win a game, and people are gonna say, "See, addition by subtraction." Like the whole defense isn't good to begin with.
Yeah, they got a lot of good defensive players. I think
All right, Dave, get on camera.
the bigger
Dave, come over
excuse.
Oh, this is
Bye.
Okay.
okay. Cool.
The bigger excuse overall is more so that he's looking to get paid.
Yeah.
So this could be the excuse of saying, well, we're not going to pay him anyway, so might as well get something for him.
At the same time, he had a chance to hold out. He didn't do it.
It's true. He decided to show up in a Brinks truck instead.
He knew, but he probably knew he wasn't getting paid. But still. And you know why? Because who was he talking to? Marrone and what's the old man's name again? The old guy from Jacksonville used to be with the Giants.
Oh, Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin. Yeah, he knows those old dudes are going to just be like, yeah, okay, well then stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to more sports. Oh, and then Antonio Brown got hit with another allegation of from somebody else.
Another one?
Ish, kind of.
I mean,
It's
This one was more that he exposed himself,
really
from what I've seen so far.
The lady was like doing a painting of him, and she turned around and he was standing there with a washcloth on. That's it. Basically, he was naked in his house. Or because what she said was, I took it as an advance.
oh wow,
That's what she said. Not
Literally.
not that he advanced. Hey,
good timing for her too, I guess.
So wait, she was like painting him while he was naked?
no, she was just painting him.
Yeah, initially he was not
wasn't
naked.
even, he
And
wasn't in the room.
Okay, so she was painting a picture of him.
She said that he was being
In his
very
house.
flirtatious, and then but she ignored it, and then she got on her knees to paint the rest of the mural, and she turned around and he was standing there naked. Not from what I read, not that he was like standing in her face.
Yeah. But he was
she
like
standing
in the
there naked
room.
with a
Just there in
washcloth
the-
on,
Yeah.
and
He wasn't helicoptering or anything.
Okay,
oh
I got
boy. And oh
Gotcha.
man,
Okay.
and he was standing there naked with a washcloth, and she took it as an advance. And then he left. She finished the painting.
I mean, it's a lot of these things are so vague, man. And the sad part is we will, unless there's video evidence, we just will never know. I mean, it's at some point, if enough allegations come out, we'll start to be like, well, maybe this dude is just, maybe something wrong with him, or maybe he is a sexual deviant or something or whatever. But
Maybe he learned something
I've
from
been
Big Ben.
I mean, that too. That's very possible. I've been in situations where I've had jobs or something, and I had to go in people's house or apartment and do something, and something happened, or
When you were a gigolo, right?
Not when I was a gigolo.
Before or after
That's
that?
a different story.
I'm sorry, what?
Different show.
Cream wasn't listening to your story at all. He's like, boring, and then he's like, wait, what?
Excuse me?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like she tells this story, and I believe her, but when she's done, I'm still just kind of like, well, so nothing happened. So he walked in the room naked.
In his own
He
house.
flirted, and then he walked out the room.
I don't know.
That's inappropriate, but I mean, I don't know.
According to the story, it wasn't in that order. He flirted,
Mm-hmm.
Then he showed up naked, but nothing happened then.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it'd be one thing if he was naked, then flirted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So context matters.
Okay.
So according to the story, he flirted with her fully clothed. Then, when the next time she saw him, he was naked with a washcloth. She took it as an advance. She didn't say he flirted then. Her exact words were she took it as an advance. Then he left the house. I can only glean from that he was probably naked because he was leaving the house, or he could have been naked because he was harassing her. I don't know.
Could have been. Yeah. He could have been getting out the shower and just walked around, or I don't know.
And like we were talking about crazy old uncles earlier, you have an uncle who underdresses in front of company.
Yeah.
And he's in his own house.
Which doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you had that.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
All right, moving on to end our football talk. Colts are keeping Vinatieri for now as their kicker. He's missed 5 in 2 weeks. He's 46, I believe.
3 extra points.
How old is he?
46.
46. Is he done, or is...
Certainly seems that way.
I mean, that's a lot of missed points.
I've never seen a kicker get it back together. Usually it's not usually like a whole career thing.
Not even
but
young kickers, though. If they miss that
I've
many
seen
in a row,
kickers
you
who have 1 year where it's just like they can't hit anything, and that lasts the entire year. So even if he's not done, this is going to be a problem all year.
I mean, he was incredibly reliable for an awful lot of years. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's got rings. He's done. I mean,
I think that's it.
When it's gone, it's gone.
But he's also getting paid
Hall of Fame career. I mean, one of the best.
$3 to $4 million to kick a ball.
Correct.
And not take hits. So
I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that he'll walk away. I'm just saying
he's definitely not walking away.
They're going to have to make a move if he keeps playing in this fashion, which I mean might already be too late.
They've already lost a game because of it, because they had every business beaten San Diego.
Yes.
It's a big deal in the NFL, especially when you already lost your starting quarterback. Your margins, your margin for error is already small if you're the Colts. You can't be giving away games like that, and they
should be 2-0.
But who are you going to get? Because there's a bunch of teams who are been trying to replace kickers, and
kickers are so bad now. I don't remember it like this when we were young.
Well, they only had to kick extra points from 3 yards out, basically.
That's true too.
I mean, I
maybe
think
it's just the whole confidence. Maybe the extra points were more confidence building than we ever realized.
That's true too.
I think that's.
I think
that's
it was
a
just
huge
those easy chip shots that you'd miss like 1 out of like 150.
And there's a lot more pressure on kickers now, man. It used to be if you sucked, you just don't read the paper tomorrow. Man, you can't avoid it no more, man.
Yeah.
These fans are crazy, and it'll be everywhere.
I mean, I think moving the extra point back really made a big difference.
Yeah,
it's not like kickers can go and just. It's not like kickers can just go try to hit a couple layups or a couple 10-footers like a basketball player can to get some momentum going. I mean, it's either. I mean, you're sitting down and it's like, okay, go warm up, and you're just kicking a ball into a net. You have no idea how far the ball's going. It's not like a bullpen of a pitcher where he can actually throw something over the plate into a glove
and visualize
to get warm
the
up, right? And visualize this going. He's in a position where you're cold. Okay, go get loose, which is kick the ball into a net 2 feet away from you.
But I mean, just the level of craziness now. When you had Aguayo coming out of Florida State, he was like the best kicker in the history of college.
Never missed.
And then all of a sudden, like by the end of his first preseason, he was like a shot fighter. Like his confidence was already gone. He was out of the league in like 2 years.
But then, like I said, that's also the pressure. Like when they take him second or third round.
It's like second round.
Second round, which is completely ridiculous.
That was insane pressure to put on.
The pressure is just it's way different now than it used to be.
True, because I mean, Sebastian Janikowski got taken in the first round and played forever.
Cool. Well, he felt pressure a little different. He dealt with his pressure with a lot of barbiturates.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, moving on. That's football for this week. We'll do picks on Thursday, so make sure you guys tune in at 2:00 p.m. West Coast time right here on Guerilla Cross Radio, Unnamed Sports Show. We had a big boxing fight this weekend on Dave's favorite holiday, Mexican Independence Day.
What do I have against Mexican Independence Day?
I didn't say you had. I said it's your favorite holiday. How's that against Mexican Independence? If it's your favorite, that means
because
you're
I'm
for
a
it.
white dude. It's implying that I have some problem with it.
What?
That's clearly what it's. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are.
Look,
I
this is
said
white
it's your
on white
favorite
crime.
holiday.
See, if it would have been us, they'd have said, well, you know about Chicago.
All right. Well, Cream's favorite
go ahead.
holiday, Mexican Independence Day.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love the Browns.
Not the Cleveland Browns.
What are you talking about?
Yikes!
So Steve's favorite holiday, Mexican Independence Day. We had a big fight out here. And I was more saying that to Dave because I wanted to segue to him not liking the fact that there wasn't a Mexican fighter on Mexican Independence Day, but he took it the wrong way.
That's fair.
Okay.
I thought it was a mistake.
And there was a Mexican
Did somebody say steak?
there was a Mexican fighter before Fury fought, but it wasn't like the main event. But that was actually really good. He dominated the dude he was fighting, which was a good fight. I can't remember the dude's name, but he is good. But it wasn't Canelo like we always expect. They're actually, I think Canelo's fighting in November.
Yeah, November.
During a Golden Knights game, so they had to move that out of T-Mobile to MGM Grand Garden, which I'm not sure why they didn't just schedule that on a date that they can get that fight in T-Mobile.
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
Because
but
boxing, the big prize fights, they kind of still run it. They kind of make their own rules with big prize fights.
I know, but wouldn't you want it to be in T-Mobile?
No, because your money is in the pay-per-view, or for them the Zone app. The money's in that. The money's not in the house.
yeah. I can
So
see.
wait.
All right, all
So
right.
you're saying
Still some money there.
the fight's not going to be at T-Mobile?
No, the fight's at MGM.
MGM, right? That's where they always
Yeah.
have the fights.
No.
MGM.
Yeah, they've usually
They've been having them at T-Mobile for a long
They've
time.
had a
Yeah.
T-Mobile.
Really?
Like Canelo's
Yeah,
been
since
fighting at
T-Mobile
T-Mobile.
They used to be at MGM all the time, but then
They're
started
still at
having them
MGM a lot of the
yeah.
time. It's just Canelo is at T-Mobile.
I just really never have any interest in watching them live.
and his Fury fight was at T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stands corrected.
But you would
So,
still
Fury-
think, but, yeah.
Fury had a fight that everybody thought. I mean, I picked him by the third or fourth round. And this ended up going the distances. I got busted up pretty bad.
Bad.
Really, I mean, I did not want it to end, but they were very close to stopping this fight. And if he was like some of the UFC fighters, when they say, "Can you see?" "Oh no, I can't see," they automatically have to stop the fight. They asked him, and at the end, he said he couldn't see, like after the fight was over. But when the cut man looks in your eye and the doctor's like, "Can you see?" you have to say yes if you want to keep fighting.
yes.
If you say anything like, "I'm seeing double," you're not fighting anymore. If you say you can't see, you're not fighting anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to say you can still see.
He also got
Now-
a champ's benefit of the doubt.
Right. Now, see, I didn't see the fight because I watched whatever UFC I couldn't have to work that night. So, did they only ask him if he could see, or did they actually do the
They
test?
They
they
didn't do
pretty
the
much
test.
asked him.
Oh, well, then they
Yeah.
knew what they
Yeah, they knew
He
it
was the
up.
main
But
event
they
of a
couldn't stop
boxing
that
card.
fight. And you know
but
what?
they were
And
not
I'm not
stopping the
mad at
fight.
him for it either.
No, not at all.
If it was a fight
But
earlier
right
in the
after-
card, it would have got stopped.
Right after that, they asked him though. He went on a barrage. Just-
Oh yeah.
He's like, okay, I can't let them stop this, so
Right.
I need to go off on this dude because he looked pretty slow the first 3 or 4 rounds.
He wasn't in shape.
He wasn't, but at the same time, he lasted 12 rounds and looked better as he went on, as opposed to what's his name?
Wallin?
Wallen, yeah.
Balin.
And that's another thing.
Balin.
And that's the reason why I've never been a fan of fighters fighting so close to the last fight. But yeah, fine. It was a two round fight, his last fight.
Round
but
and a half.
to ramp up your
Yeah.
energy for a second fight that close, I could see why he would start slow.
But he did get the win, which I think all of us as boxing fans are happy. We can't see too many upsets when we want the best fighters to fight each other. Deontay Wilder has a fight, I think, in November. They don't have the exact date set for that. And then this fight's supposed to be February 22nd. If Wilder wins, Fury versus Wilder. They're not sure if his eye's going to be healed up by then, though.
I wouldn't
in
think
enough
so.
time to train
Not
for
a
that
chance.
fight.
Well, and
So I
also,
think they might have to push it back a couple months.
it'll get pushed back, and you also have to remember you have somebody like Deontay Wilder hits that once.
Yeah, it's
It's
coming back
wide open again.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also beyond just when the fight is. You have to train for a while first, so you
the
still
thing.
have to take some hits.
Yeah.
Even though you're wearing a head guard. but-
Boxing used to be a 6-week thing. It used to be a 6-week camp. I think it's different now. I think fighters go about 8 to 10 weeks now, something like that. So if he's gonna, I mean, if he has to be ready to train, there's just no way that thing could. It's got to heal. It's got to scar tissue up.
He's a ways from training.
And at the same time, Deontay Wilder's fights in November sometime. Is that enough time for him to, in between fights?
That's a terrible idea as well. That's terrible.
Because what if he gets busted up? What if he gets hurt? And even if not, what if, and the guy he's fighting was actually a good fight last time they fought.
Yeah.
That's Russian for money, and it's a little too fast, especially for heavyweights.
I honestly thought you meant the country.
Oh,
I really thought you meant that's Russia. I was like, what word did he say?
Because
I
was about to say,
they're a little too
What's
quick to
Putin
chase
have
the
to do
money.
with this?
Because in Russia, they don't stop.
What's that do with our election?
This isn't an election.
So
Are you a bot?
Tyson Fury?
Are you a
Tyson
bot?
Fury's gotten a 2-month suspension now
Medical?
for his medical suspension. So I don't know what all that affects as far as his training, but I would imagine in that 2 months, he would need that time to heal anyway.
He's not training anyway.
Yeah,
he got 50 stitches in his eye.
That's another thing.
That's
Because he had two.
that's a
two cuts. on
big
his
cut, and he's a.
It was two major, like
he's
two
a
wide
big
open
guy.
cuts.
He's a big guy, and he's most likely not going to knock out Wilder. Most likely. That's just not the way he fights. He's going to have to train for a 12-round fight.
He's a point
and
fighter.
there's really nothing that. Oh, jeez.
yeah.
There's really nothing in that 2 months. What just gonna jog? That's really it. All he can do is just jog.
Basically, yeah.
There's almost nothing. There's almost nothing he can do that's not gonna affect that eye. And even then, he can't even do that for 2 months because guess what? People sweat, and where that cut is, that's.
Oh yeah, he's out for a while. It's
so
just
they're definitely
to
gonna have to push that fight back.
Have to.
Yeah.
Is that fight here too?
I don't know if they had it.
I don't. Because the
scheduled.
last one wasn't. I would.
Wilder?
I'm not the Wilder. I'm talking Wilder Fury.
I'm not sure where. I'm not sure if they had.
I don't think
had
it was
going to
be here.
Yeah, because I know if I was Fury, I'd be like, you didn't earn the right to fight in America. I beat you.
Yeah, they don't.
That's not what it says on the cards, but
They don't have an exact spot yet, but they're just saying it's likely to be in the U.S. at this point.
Well,
They
you
don't
also
have
have to remember, yes, Fury beat him, even though that's not what it said on the cards. But Fury also got a long count when he got knocked down too. So
that doesn't look. That was not no long count.
I felt the long count was long.
That wasn't a long count.
I think Fury absolutely won that fight.
Absolutely.
I
feel like the only thing
other than that long count, Fury handled him in that fight.
That long count might
Wilder
matter.
lives up to his name. He is
that
just
wasn't
a
a long
crazy wild puncher.
That wasn't a long count.
my only argument with the fight is when most fighters hit the mat as hard as Fury did, and they're literally unconscious like that, the ref looks at him and usually waves it off.
No.
And he started counting. He got to 5 before Fury even showed a sign of not being completely dead.
You wave off,
and then he
you
just
wave off
popped up.
fighters that are new fighters that aren't. You don't wave off heavyweights like
Fighters
that.
that fall on their back, especially in title fights, almost never get waved off. You fall forward, that's
then
probably
you're done.
That's done.
Yeah.
And listen, I tried everything to look at that and see how did he get up from this. I'm telling you, I've watched that a million times. That was not a long count. It was just the most miraculous thing I've ever seen. It's like when Ali got punched by Frazier, got that left hook. I'm not aging myself because I'm still not even old enough for that fight. Thank you very much. And I can't believe he got up from that. But it was one of those. It's one of those things where you got knocked out by the punch and woke up by the canvas.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Is it just seems so unbelievable for him to get up? You just keep watching it like, how is this possible? Like he shouldn't have been able to get up here, but he got up. So it's. It's still. I just was like, if maybe I guess what I'm saying is, had the ref waved it off right when he hit, and I saw the video, I would have been like, yeah, he's dead. He was knocked out. He was.
But had he waved it off, and dude just gets up, stands right up like the Undertaker, and is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's happened before though.
But it's like what we always said, man. MMA fighters and boxers, they're just a different breed. It's just whatever it is.
I do know one thing: if Tyson Fury shows up in this shape that he showed up against Wilder to fight Wilder, he'll lose that fight.
And I don't think.
I don't trust Wilder. I think Wilder has scary punching power, but he is still just. He's wild. There's no other real word to say. He's throwing punches from crazy angles. He still seems, for so many fights, he he still seems very raw.
Very raw.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a very raw fighter.
He doesn't have boxing skills.
Not traditional. No,
No.
he doesn't have
Right.
traditional boxing skills.
But if he touches you right, you
but
go to
he's
sleep.
he's got a lot of speed and power. So it's one of those things. If he's just a fighter of average speed, somebody's beating him to that punch all the time.
Yeah.
But he throws with vicious intentions, and again, like someone said once before, there's something to be said just for being country crazy, man.
Yeah.
He's just built different. It's like when we talk about Habib. I've seen Habib take a shot right to the jaw, and I'm like, that's how you beat him. And he just keeps coming. There's nothing you can do about it.
And moving on to UFC, there was a big UFC fight night this weekend. Also, some really good fights, too. It was actually super entertaining this weekend.
Yeah, they did have a good card.
Yeah. If you don't, and honestly, that card was better than UFC 240. What was it that we just had? 242?
Well,
242.
242 was a terrible. It was a bad card. It was just built for a beat.
It was definitely a card
It was a
built
bad card
for the
name-wise,
Middle
yeah.
East.
Yeah.
Every fight was Middle Eastern, pretty much. But we did have some of our people that we've met recently win their fights. Sarah Cheesecake. Forgot her last name, but she
Kaufman?
won. And, well, no, that's what she goes by. That's her Twitter handle,
Okay.
Sarah Cheesecake.
No, not Sarah Kaufman.
But she won. And, yeah. So this weekend, we had Cowboy Cerrone versus Justin Gaethje. I was expecting a better fight. I did have Gaethje the whole time, and I think me and you were the only ones, right?
Yep.
I didn't get to
But-
pick it. I would have
but
agreed with that.
That being said, when that fight first got announced, I had Cerrone, and I listened to you, and that's what
I like Gaethje
got
a
me on
lot.
Gaethje's side.
I like Gaethje. He's a lot younger, first of all. He's just a really good fighter. I think he's definitely one of the tops in this division right now. And Cowboy, listen, man, he's been great for the UFC. He'll still get some more fights. He needs to
Because
quit.
he's always up for a fight.
Exactly, and he's not he's not going to get title shots. He needs to quit trying to fight the people in the top of the division, I guess. And his rankings obviously going to keep going down with some losses, but
He's a lot like Uriah Faber that way.
The problem is he's kind
Exactly.
The problem is he's kind of a gatekeeper. So that's kind of he's like the measuring stick of how Dana knows if you're ready for the title shot, the big time or not.
Yeah.
So
No, he's going to
there
keep
might
getting
be
a
some more
steady
of
diet
these.
up and comers.
But getting knocked out how fast was it?
it was the first
It was
round,
the
but it
first
was
round.
late. It was later
late
in the first
round? Yeah, well then might be some more fights like this coming up for him.
And the ref wasn't stopping the fight.
Yeah. And
Gaethje was really upset because they are friends. So it's like you're fighting your friend. If you don't like the guy and the ref's not stopping it, I want to keep hitting you. But
but the rest of that
he
stuff,
was knocked out when he got hit. You could see his eyes.
Yeah.
He was.
That's just a Cerrone is such a game fighter that they gave him a little too much of the benefit of the doubt there because that fight should have been stopped.
that being said,
He was gone before he went
was
down.
in-
You could see his eyes kind of rolled back.
Yeah.
And Gaethje was in such a dominant position where you could tell he's not throwing punches because he knows it's done.
Yeah.
Well,
And
he's on the ground
And he's
with
on
his
the
head
ground
down.
trying to grab his ankle. It's like he can't even form the strength to grab his ankle.
And you could even tell when they got up about a minute and a half later, then Cerrone came to.
Yeah.
And you could tell when someone's like knocked out,
like, yo, what
consciously
what
knocked out.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, a minute and a half later, they come to and like, yo, wait, why is where am I? Why is the fight not happening anymore?
Yeah.
You know?
And he had every right to be mad at the ref because once he knocked him down, he's looking at the ref like, ref, I know when the guy's out.
Exactly.
This guy's out. And even in that time that he did that, he never defended himself.
Exactly.
It's over. And he made him contact him a few more times, which, I mean, I'm sure most UFC fighters don't want to do, but especially guys who are actually friends. And from what I've seen of Cerrone, he don't have a guy who's not his friend.
No,
in the
everybody
UFC.
loves him
Everybody
because I
loves
mean,
him.
he just likes to fight.
Yeah.
He's not a bad dude.
Always brings
and-
the action.
Yeah, like I said, he just reminds me a lot of just a bigger Faber. Just he's gonna fight you.
And especially if you're one of the better fighters, he's always going to give you a win. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he has a ceiling.
Yeah.
But that ceiling is good enough to beat a lot of fighters.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of fighters.
He's just no one elite.
And he'll take short notice as can be. He does not care.
So I'm going to go in the rankings for the lightweight division right now, which this fight was. And they asked Gaethje at the end of the fight, are you looking at the Irishman? And he's like, no, he's retired. I want to fight somebody that's actually active, and he wants to fight Habib. I'm not sure if he gets this fight. So Tony Ferguson's been waiting, and he's ranked number 1 right now. Obviously, Khabib's the champ.
Ferguson should be his next fight.
Ferguson's number 1. I think that should be the next fight. I think if Conor is really coming back anytime soon, I think Conor and Gaethje would be a great fight. Whoever wins that fight fights the winner of Ferguson Khabib. What do you guys think? Should Gaethje get that shot right on top, or because Ferguson's kind of been waiting for a while for this fight?
Ferguson deserves a title shot.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Yes. Wait. That's kind of true, but kind of not. That fight's been made 3 times.
Well,
yeah, it's just snake bitten.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the last time, he literally tripped over an extension cord.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, literally, the night before the fight, you trip over an extension
That's
cord?
crazy.
Wow.
And tear your ACL? Insane.
That's
But,
fair.
but you know what? It can't be more tailor-made. It's perfect. It's Ferguson and Khabib, Gaethje and Conor. There's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
That should be it. Well, yeah, especially now when with Nate and you know what I'm talking about, already having their fight.
Yeah.
Masvidal.
Masvidal already having their fight. This is it. The path is there.
Their fight for their special one-time only belt,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the BMF championship.
I mean, this is probably my favorite division anyways. I don't know. There's a lot of good divisions right now. But you got Ferguson, you got Poirier, who obviously lost to Khabib, so he's going down. I'm not sure when he'll get a fight in this division.
Yeah, he was talking about Conor as well, too, though.
I don't think Conor – I don't think they'll put somebody that just lost against Conor for Conor's first fight back.
That might be the perfect reason why.
But here's the thing. Why not? Because both of you lost to Khabib, and Khabib handled Poirier. I mean, Poirier didn't do anything wrong. He just ran into someone that there's no answer for. At least
and Poirier
not currently.
already beat Gaethje,
There's that, too.
which was
Poirier.
actually a really good fight. Yeah.
That's true. You know what? Now that you say it like that, Poirier probably should get the first dibs over Gaethje. He beat Gaethje. He beat Holloway. He just lost to Khabib.
Yeah.
He was just the interim champ.
And that's the thing. It's like when you have a dominant champ like that, it's interesting to see how everybody shuffles around it.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly feels like Ferguson should be the next title shot, but I mean, as far as who fights Conor, could be a few different guys.
Well, I think who fights Conor is because obviously there's people to fight him, but there's probably 5 good people that could fight him, right? As far as like fighting wise.
Yeah.
But now it comes to what's going to draw for Conor's first fight back. This guy is obviously the biggest superstar in UFC, has made a lot of money doing stuff outside of UFC. So I think that's what they look at. Like, what's going to be the best draw for
I'm not sure Conor has a bad draw.
Yeah,
especially with this type
Conor's
of
the
weight.
draw.
He's
And this
the
is
draw.
this is my thing. Conor has had 3 fights in 3 years, and he's only won 1 of them. But he's still like the biggest draw. At some point, shouldn't it be? Well, you're gonna fight whoever we say you fight until you win, until you beat somebody.
No, because they want him to fight.
Do people still want to see Conor fight?
Yes,
absolutely.
everybody
100%.
does. People that don't watch UFC
And
will watch
can promise
UFC
you
when
his-
Conor
I
fights.
can tell you that probably his interview the other day probably outrated a lot of just UFC fight nights.
True. And
Just-
the other thing is he's the only guy that they have where they have to go by what he wants because he doesn't have to fight. He doesn't ever have to fight again.
Right.
But according to him, he said, "Give me whoever." So there's a lot of fights on the table, and I guess it is. I guess the ball is in their court.
It's easy to say
He
that in a
still can
softball
say
interview.
no to some people. Still can. Well, it's got to be a softball interview. It's an hour interview. You can't have him
Correct.
walking out in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's an hour interview.
Exactly.
So what about the old man? Okay, let's watch old highlights of Biggie's Georgetown basketball.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying it's very easy to make that statement in a softball interview. It's like when you're Carmelo and saying, "Yeah, I have no problem coming off the bench." It's like, well, you have to say that,
Right, but according to him, the fights were already pretty much made. Like, it's not just that he said I'll fight anybody. It's that, okay, well, they were looking at Frankie Edgar and I don't remember who else. They talked about the Nate one. I don't remember all of them because now the interview has been almost a month now. But but like these things were happening. But he had been out of fighting for so long, the cage for so long, that instead of just sparring, he was having actual matches. And he's like, what am I doing? Why was I doing that? Of course I'm going to get hurt if I'm having actual matches to prepare for matches. And that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see him come back, so hopefully it does happen sometime early next year. I don't think it's going to happen anytime this year.
You don't think he's going to be in December?
Wait a minute.
It's possible. Go
He
ahead.
said on Twitter today, December 14th. I forgot about that.
I feel like,
December 14th. He says
he's going to be in the December card.
Yeah, he said December 14th. I forgot all about that. He said that.
Well, that would be good then because I do have media.
Yeah, right.
credentials for that.
Exactly. You know what, Connor? Why don't you go ahead and do that?
That'd
Now,
be a good
that
time.
hasn't been confirmed. We've heard many fighters say a lot of things that Dana was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. But
He's different, though,
according
so
to
he
him,
can
it's December
determine
14th. He is different.
He's the one that could say, hey, Dana, I'm fighting December 14th. Give me somebody.
Dana still got some kind of power, man. Dana,
I get that. I'm just saying he's different.
Wait,
That's all I'm
he's-
saying.
he's-
He's in a very different negotiating position than every other UFC
But you
fighter.
also have to wonder what is the January card, because if that sucks, Dana's going to be like, sorry, bro, you're fighting January. You know what I mean?
But they always try to close out the year with a big one in December. They don't care as much about January.
But I'd like to think that's already pretty much scheduled, isn't it?
No, not really. There's not really anything.
Not at all.
I'm trying to remember this December card.
Amanda Nunes is the headliner right now.
And she's
For December.
fighting.
Have they even given
Have
the
they even
opponent, or
given
is
it?
she's
fighting-
fighting?
Oh, Rondamon or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
No,
Ramadan. That's January.
Ramadan.
Ramadan's January.
Yeah, that's not even.
That's
That's such a dominant fight. I mean, you want something that people are going to actually enjoy watching because you're going to enjoy
people
watching
enjoy
Nunes
yeah.
a destroyer,
But you need something that people are gonna
Yeah.
spend money for.
Twitter's really stupid because they're saying that he's announcing he's coming back for Dublin in December 14th.
No. That's because people don't know English. He says Dublin, comma
December
14th. Because
So
he's
he's
talking
telling
to
to
Dublin. Get your
Yeah.
tickets because
Yeah.
I'm fighting December 14th.
Yeah, but
And so I'm going through Twitter like he's going to fight in Dublin. I'm like, well,
there's no card.
There's
So
no
he's
card.
he's
They're not going to
fighting.
do. They're not going to do a second card.
Unless he's having a rematch with the old man. There's not going to
Oh,
be a
God.
fight in Dublin.
Hey, that might be a fight worth watching.
Listen, you think that
I mean, it's better than the Aldo fight.
You think it's you think it's that old man's first time getting a bar fight in Ireland? Hell no.
The old man took a shot
He
pretty well
took
from a
that
trained
joint,
fighter.
didn't he? He said, "Boom, you know what? I'm gonna let you get away with that one."
Yeah, you get one.
Yeah, I bet you won't do it again. He was like, "You know what?
Hey.
I ain't trying to do it again."
Oh, Trevor Simeon
Hey.
took a shot too.
Oh, that's bad.
Some of these bar fights are pretty good.
Yeah, his.
Oh
he's,
gosh!
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
don't look.
Don't show it! Don't show it! Oh gosh! Broken ankle! Ow!
Yeah, I wish
Is
I
he
had
still-
moved
is he still
seats.
down?
Oh my gosh!
He's
it's over.
going to be down for a little bit.
Oh, they were right.
Who's their third?
Steve.
Whoa, Steve!
I saw about 5 angles. I'm watching on my laptop. I saw about
He's got
5 angles.
now.
Yeah.
And then I saw the one that was.
Oh man.
So we know what Steve does during the show. He just told on. I'm watching the game on my laptop. Wow.
Well, I'm doing my research.
Oh, is that-
I can't turn around. I see y'all looking at TV. I can't turn around. So
You didn't
Well,
have
I
enough
didn't want
time
to see it. I hate that stuff.
I can't see. I
And
can't
you
look
didn't
at
have
this.
you didn't have enough time for us to say, "Oh my gosh," for you
I
to
can't look at broken bones.
log in and turn it on.
Well, when y'all said it, I knew it was about to show on my screen, so no point in turning.
Oh,
sound
it
like
just
some of
loaded
those-
that quick, huh?
You sound like some of those, some of the old school, like Marvin Gaye. I think this.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Hey,
That was more like pop, 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 pop.
Ah, yo. Ra, ra, ra. Bim, 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 bim.
That was terrible looking.
I didn't look at it all.
R.I.P. ankles.
Steve, what do you think about gun control?
Oh Jesus!
Oh, no.
No.
We're not doing it. We're not
Please
doing it.
don't.
All right, so who do you guys want to see Conor face in his first fight back?
I want to see you know what I think. I want to see him face Gaethje. Ain't nobody in the history of life been more tailor-made to take a overhand left from Conor than Gaethje. That dude hasn't moved his head, and well, you know what? Whatever.
But you know what? They could both take some hits. I think it would be.
He can take a shot,
It would be a good.
He can take a shot.
I would rather see him fight Poirier, but Poirier fought too soon.
I think, according to he fought
what I'm saying.
less
And they
recently
have
than
fought
Gaethje.
before, right?
He fought less recently
Either
than
way.
Gaethje.
Either way,
Has Conor and
neither one of
Poirier
them's fighting
fought
him in
already?
December.
Yes.
They have fought.
Yes, in 145.
Oh, wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like you
People
might
don't
get somebody
realize-
else.
That was
People
100 ago.
People don't realize how many names Conor's beaten on the way up because they didn't know
Oh,
who
definitely,
Conor
yeah.
was. But he beat Holloway with one leg, with one ACL.
Yeah.
Beat Poirier. He beat
Beat Aldo when Aldo was unbeatable.
Well, people know about that one. That
Yeah,
one's
'cause that was-
historic.
That's
Yeah.
when everyone
Dennis
really
Seaver,
knew then.
That's when everybody. That's when yeah.
They knew him before that, but
Mendes
that's when it
fight,
was
But
like-
then they really knew
Yeah.
right then. Yeah.
yeah.
And when he actually got to train for Diaz, he beat Diaz. Not that Diaz is an all-time great.
I mean,
He's a tough fighter.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, I mean, who do you want to? You said Gaethje?
I
And
say
you said
Gaethje.
Dave, who'd you say?
I'd rather. I think you'd have a better fight with Poirier.
I think he would drop Gaethje in the first round.
That's what I'm saying. I
First
think him
round.
and Poirier would be a better fight.
Yeah, but we'll see. That depends. Yeah, true. I see what you're saying. It depends on what we're looking for. Are we looking to hype up his eventual rematch? Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing him go against Ferguson either. That's after Khabib, because that would be a war.
Him and Ferguson would
That
be an
an
interesting fight.
Absolute
Because Ferguson
war.
does some weird stuff.
weird stuff, and he's prone to taking a counter punch as well, which is what Conor's great at.
Yeah.
And then just looking at you and smiling while his
Yeah.
face bleeds, and then hitting you 4 more times. It's insane.
I mean,
it's
that's the
crazy.
most interesting fight, but I think that
Holy
Ferguson needs his
Lord,
title shot.
He's not on a card.
Yeah, he's walking.
He didn't.
I can't believe that.
That must just be a bad sprain when your leg goes all the way back.
That's the
bro.
worst sprain I've ever seen. Then
Oh, look, it's Colin Cap. Oh, nope, not him.
He just juiced up right
No,
now.
Kaepernick's on the bench, I think.
don't start that.
He's not starting. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm saying?
He's not coming off the bench either.
No, he's not.
No, he's never going to. It's never going to happen.
Ever.
Never say never.
Well,
I'm saying never.
I'm agreeing.
Why, you come up on your laptop? You
Yeah,
jerk.
it came up. And it came up in the future, actually.
Oh, wait till you see this, Steve.
Joke's on you.
All right. Well,
It's
what
been
else we got
moving
in
to nowhere.
sports right now?
I only got to hear part of Thursday. Did we talk about Canelo going up like 2 weight classes?
No,
I don't
we
think it was even news yet.
Yeah.
Why?
What is he? Well, I don't know. I guess no other fights.
My first thought
But
is,
he's
what is,
getting paid regardless.
what is his walk around weight? Does anybody know? Does he walk around at that weight
no,
class
he
or
didn't
something?
walk around that
No,
big.
because he had to. Cause listen, no. You know how I know it wasn't? Because his reasoning for not fighting Triple G back then was he wanted to naturally go up to 160. So if he
Yeah.
had to build himself up to 160,
Okay, yeah.
he definitely isn't walking
well,
around at 175.
I mean-
and even if he is walking around 175, then God, what's his name? Kovalev's. If that's the case, and he's walking around at 220, so it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's be real. He waited for Triple G. He waited for age to catch Triple G first.
No, he didn't. That man's not scared of
please.
anybody. Why would he be scared of?
Get out of here.
Let me tell you something. So you're telling me he was afraid of fighting Triple G and then
Earlier?
promptly went into the ring and then just went forward the entire time and never backed up and
He-
took all the punches.
Did you not see the Triple G's fights before he fought Canelo?
whoa. Who's talking about the World War II? I did not see anything.
That's all I'm saying.
Did I not see what?
Did you not see his last fight before he fought Canelo? Triple G started slipping. And by the way, Triple G won that first fight.
That's
I
fine.
don't care what the records say.
That's fine. And if that's the fact, if that is a fact that Triple G won that first fight, then that kind of proves how unafraid of him Canelo is. If he's like, let's get back in the ring.
Canelo did way better than I expected him to in that first fight. All I know is I watched at the house of somebody from Jalisco who loves Canelo, and he thought Triple G won that
That's
first
Oh,
fight.
I thought Triple G won the fight.
That's like Josh saying that I talked to a native.
Right, and he says that name is okay.
Very different.
I thought Canelo won the fight. I also was sure after that fight they were going to call it a draw.
Yeah.
I've just watched too much boxing.
Yeah.
I know in that
All right,
first
well,
fight, Canelo hit Triple G with the hardest right hand he could possibly muster up, and Triple G just
Just stood
smiled
there.
and kept coming forward.
But
like,
the same thing happened with
whatever,
Canelo.
bro.
Triple G hit him with this
Yeah.
left hook, and I said, "Y'all can't keep doing this."
Yeah.
So you fight again? Y'all do it for 36 rounds,
Yeah.
and nobody's gonna even get dropped.
I mean,
Yeah, that was crazy.
These two are insane. I don't know who makes these guys chin, but it's insane, man.
All right, you are watching the history of sports on Unnamed Sports Show. To the NBA wants to give a $10 million fine for tampering. I don't know how they're going to prove tampering.
Good luck.
There's no way to do this. A $10 million fine.
Magic would have been the only one that actually would have gotten it.
Again, $10 million fine to who? All these billionaires?
And also you
for
can't
teams.
You can't find the players for keeping in contact with all these guys are friends now for the most part. You can't keep track of it. It is what it is.
Are there any clear-cut rules for what tampering actually is?
There is, but it's
clear cut.
But I mean,
is
clear cut
right.
is the you know what I'm saying? Like, what's to say? Like, how far does a text message actually go, or how far does a tweet or a phone call that we know the phone call was made, but did he just wish him happy birthday?
There's
Whatever
really
they
no
say it
rules
is.
for players.
Whatever they say it is.
Yeah,
I think the fact that the player signings were being announced before free agency was even open, like how can you announce that?
But the league is okay with that, clearly.
Were they? Because
But
now they're
now
saying
they're
they
not.
want a $10 million fine for it. So they weren't cool with it, especially because they have TV shows that are supposed to announce these things, and I don't know. I don't think they're cool with it. I don't think they want these players committing to teams before the deadline to talk to them is even
Or
up,
they at least don't want the story leaked.
which that's impossible.
But it keeps I think the league loves it. I think what the league doesn't want is for the word to get out before the finals are done. Once the finals are done, I think the league is more than happy to maintain their control of the news cycles because it was nonstop, especially
There's
this year.
difference between the rumors of he might sign here and there's chatter of that and them announcing it an hour before it was even available to announce, or you're not even allowed to talk to a team for another hour and they're announcing it. I think that's bad for the league for that to be happening because where does it stop?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is find every way for an Anthony Davis situation not to happen again. And again, people use Anthony Davis as like he's the first one to do it. He's not. The same thing Paul George did. Look, hey, listen, I'm not coming back. So, and me personally, I'm okay with that type of thing. You're telling the team, bro, I'm not resigning.
Yeah.
So if
Anthony Davis just did it in a way that it got to be an embarrassment at a certain point. At
the same time, the media
blew
caught
it up.
onto it and made it into that too because he's not the first player.
They didn't catch on to anything.
Well, it got leaked to them.
What's his name? Literally said it.
Rich Paul.
Rich Paul literally said it in a Sports Illustrated article. So it wasn't leaked. Like he said, listen, we'd be idiots not to talk to the Lakers.
But I think there was also kind of some petty moments going back and forth between New Orleans and LA where after the first round of it kind of ended and New Orleans was like, yeah, we were never really going to trade Anthony Davis. We just wanted to, in a sense, get back at the Lakers for what they felt like was tampering or something. And things like that is kind of, in a sense, like we get it. It's business.
Because it was tampering.
But and that's what I'm saying. Like maybe it was, but the publicity of that and them coming out, I think overall that looks bad because now it looks like you have adult businessmen who are acting like babies taking pot shots at each other.
And you know what else too? I also think that a lot of this is kind of like a shout out to the smaller market teams because if you're Indiana and you hear Magic Johnson on the Jimmy Kimmel show saying, "Sure, we're gonna talk to Paul George."
Yeah.
And if you live in those cities, you're like, "Yo, what can
we're in
there's
trouble.
nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
what
yeah,
recourse do we
yeah.
have?" Because of course he's going to want to go there instead of being here. And then they end up going to this whole rebuild thing again, which, by the way, part of that rebuild means that player was on that team the whole year, so you can't even get a top draft pick. I think that's kind of what this is about.
Yeah.
It's just tough because it's now determined that the NBA will just kind of stay for the most powerful teams to continue to get players. They have trouble, and especially in a league like the NBA, it's just the players have so much power, and they realistically determine exactly where they want to go. Anthony Davis wanted to be a Laker and is a Laker.
Kevin Durant.
But at the same time, if Lakers didn't have the assets to be able to pull that trade off, he wouldn't be a Laker. So
right, that's true.
Kawhi Leonard supposedly wanted to be a Laker this time last year and got traded to Toronto. So he ended up getting to LA a year later, but they could at least prolong that. And maybe the chances and hopes of Now you won a championship. Maybe you will stay here. Still exists. So it's still out
Clearly
there.
it doesn't.
And meanwhile, Kevin Durant never met with Brooklyn at all.
Nope. He just determined he was
Just
going
knew
to.
where he's going because
Allegedly.
Well, him and
because
Kyrie are
players still gonna
BFFs
talk.
now, too.
Yeah.
Because
Players
him
still
and
gonna
Kyrie are somehow best friends. They're
Best
both
friends in the
weird.
league.
That's his best friend. That's what he said.
Yeah. They both have that. They both have a very
Have we
similar
ever really
personality.
seen them talking or hanging out before
Yeah.
this?
All-Star
games,
stuff
for sure.
like
Yeah.
constantly. And anytime
Every
he-
All-Star year?
and
And
anytime
they had dinner after that.
anytime they would
No,
come
you're
up in
talking about this
interviews,
year, right?
like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about before this year, though.
oh yeah, no, Word is
haven't.
always
okay.
he's always put it out there in a lot of interviews. He's always found ways to throw praise to Kyrie.
Okay.
It's
I never realized
I've
it.
never in my life.
But good news is baseball season's about to begin, and so is NBA season. Media Day starts next week, guys. Are you excited or not? Kareem, excited?
Sure.
All right. Steve, excited?
I'm excited that means basketball is about to start.
I love Media Day. Dave, are you excited?
Hey, who are you talking to? You know how much I love basketball. My paying attention to football is about to dwindle very heavily once the NBA season starts.
I could still pay attention to both.
Yeah, I can play this both. You know,
I could.
I just
You
know.
might a little bit more this year because Chris Paul. Kareem, what were you saying?
I just I have 82 games of that tandem together. Just
It's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna have to be talked into it. That's all.
No, it's going to be fun either way. Either they're going to be really good together, or it's going to be a disaster, and it's going to be
Boy,
fun.
that
watching
sounds
the
like a whole
disaster.
lot of fun for me.
Yeah, it's gonna
except
be
it does
great.
not.
There's gonna be some nights where it looks unstoppable,
Speaking
and
of
there's gonna
which-
be some other nights.
I'll be watching the Knights.
Yeah, there'll
then.
be some
Yeah,
golden-
I'll be watching the
There'll be
Knights.
some
then. How
golden
about
nights.
that? Yeah.
James Harden was actually at the Aces game yesterday,
Yes.
and the Aces had a crazy game. They go down by one. They leave a wide open 3-point shot for the Chicago Sky, and I'm watching it on my phone at the Golden Knights game. The Golden Knights game just ended. Have people trying to walk by me. I'm
How'd you
like,
see it on your phone?
Trying to watch. What?
Oh wait.
Oh,
I'll
ESPN.
ask you after. Okay, cool.
No, ESPN app.
They
were on
Wouldn't get you in
ESPN.
trouble.
No, they were on ESPN.
Okay.
So I'm watching it on my phone. They hit Chicago hits that three. It is up by one. Aces have the ball. Dribbling down, throw to Asia Wilson, wide open with her back to the basket. Doesn't realize she's wide open. Turns around, sees she's wide open. So wide open, she throws the ball right out of bounds. Chicago gets the ball back. About 9 seconds left. Inbound the ball, trying to avoid the foul. I'm not sure her name from Chicago. Throws it down the court, or tries to.
Pick six.
Hamby intercepts it. And with 7.9 seconds left, takes a last-second shot from almost half court.
From 55 feet away.
And this is the funny thing with sports. You either go from the fall guy to hero just like that, depending on where that ball lands. If she would have shot that ball and went over the backboard with a teammate wide open under the basket,
Wide open under the basket.
she would have it would have been drastic for her in the media, wherever. You know what I'm saying? There was way too much time left to take that shot. But it went in, so it's miraculous. It's the greatest shot of all time, which I loved it. I thought when she shot the ball, I'm like, no, wait, there's time. You have a player wide open under the basket. They could have tied the game.
Yeah.
They end up going up by one.
Can I bring up something I don't think I've seen anybody bring up? How was it okay for the whole time she's putting that shot up? Avery Johnson's running on the court. He's physically on the court while
see
the
that.
ball's in the air.
I didn't even see that.
Like yelling at the refs. He's trying to say she went
He's
out
trying
of
to say
bounds.
she was out of bounds,
But
which
it- but
all the
it's just
replays
like-
I saw, you couldn't see that
Yeah, it
at all.
wasn't-
I didn't
nothing
see
was-
out of bounds.
Nothing was conclusive, but it's just like, so it would have been just okay if that shot didn't go in. That their coach is on the court.
Yeah.
No, he never got called out for that. It's crazy to me.
Never saw
I think it's crazy that she just took the same shot that Steph Curry takes all the time, and for the exact same reason, because it went in. Nobody says anything.
But Steph Curry shoots that like a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
He just
okay,
pulls up like that.
His form's
But
better.
at the,
His form
at
is
the same
better.
time, she did make that shot earlier in practice. So
You know,
she took that
hey,
shot too.
if Steph Curry would have done that with Kevin Durant standing under the basket wide open, let me tell you something.
There's a bit
He still would have left.
You still would have left. So yeah. So basically, what I'm telling you is nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But the Aces move on. WNBA playoffs are kind of weird. I guess they have like wild card.
Yeah, there's like a 1-game play-in.
And then, well, I don't know, because then you get
Yeah.
a bye the first round, and then
Then the second round, single elimination.
But some people get a bye on the second round also.
Yes.
And then the next round is now you actually play a 5-game series, best of 5.
And we're playing the team that we have not been close with, not once at all this year.
We've struggled with Washington, and they were in the championship last year, I believe, against Seattle, and they lost to Seattle last year, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so we play them in a 5-game series. First 2 are in Washington. Next game out here is next weekend at Mandalay Bay. So hopefully I want some free tickets somehow. Somebody.
Yeah,
a lot of people I know,
you know.
please.
Now, what day is it again? Because I'm trying to.
I believe it's Sunday.
No wins for Joshington.
Sunday.
None.
Again?
Yeah.
Joshington.
Yeah, we don't like anything Joshington.
No. Well,
Del Don is good though.
Oh, she's great.
She's probably
great.
the best player in the league right now, in the world right
Yeah.
now.
Probably.
I mean, since the other one has one Achilles.
Plus she
Candace is still my favorite though.
plus she ran down. She is always good to run down Gino, so that always puts her a little bit higher in my book.
Here we go.
But yeah, go out if you guys are in Vegas and go watch the Aces. If not, then watch it on TV. Don't be intimidated by Aces crazy fans that try to yell at you if you don't go buy a ticket.
Don't be Aces shamed.
You could support by watching it on TV also. That's still support. They get ratings for that, and they check them.
But hey, you go to those games, it seems to be quite the destination for
I'll
the
tell you-
highest level of NBA player.
I'll tell you what, man. I was pleasantly surprised with how much was going on that weekend here in Vegas, and to see that crowd once that shot hit, I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, they gave
Yeah.
away a lot of tickets for that. too. Hey,
Well, you know what?
$10 tickets, buy one, get one
I
free.
was trying there,
Okay.
but thanks for that.
But being back home
sugarcoat it a
next
little.
Sunday, I think at Mandalay Bay instead of being at Thomas and Mack, I don't think they'll have to do that same thing. It was just a very weird weekend. A lot of stuff going on. The fight, the Knights game at the same time, NASCAR, NFL. I mean, and it'll be a later game, so you won't have to deal with like all the NFL games and stuff like that. People at the sports book, but there was a good crowd.
Yeah, and I'm also assuming a lot of the same people who went to NASCAR probably weren't going to.
No, I'm gonna say that's.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna say
there
there's
are lots.
I'm gonna say there's like zero crossover.
How many Busch Lights did they sold at the? Well,
That could go a lot of ways.
Wow.
Wow.
oh, I'm beer, not beer.
You're one of my worst friends I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Anyways, tune in Thursday to Unnamed Sports Show. Download the Guerilla Cross app because we do have a lot of sports shows that we have weekly and daily, actually. We have sports shows every day except Sunday. Even though Josh is trying to start a show on Sunday, I don't know what he's thinking, what he's talking about.
Yeah, I was like,
We are closed
I was
on
like, Josh,
Sunday.
I'd love to, but
But I just
no
lied.
one else
I don't
is
want
going
to.
Listen,
I'd do
if
it.
you guys learn this system, you guys could have a key and do it. I'm not mad at that, but I won't be here.
I might could do that.
That's my day off. So
I wasn't trying to have you come in on your Sundays.
no.
You got fine the day off.
But make sure you guys download the Guerilla Cross app and visit GuerillaCross.com as well. And if you missed the live episode, you can check out all the replays on the app as well. So make sure you check that out. And we will be back Thursday, NFL Week 3 picks. I'm not even sure who the Niners are playing, but they will win that game. They're playing Pittsburgh. I did know.
They're playing against Mason.
That's at home, right?
It is. Tis
Yeah.
our season home opener.
Yeah.
Bills get that this week too.
And you play,
Believe so.
who'd you say?
The Bengals.
Oh, yep. Their home opener as well.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
I'll be taking the
Let's
Bengals.
just have happen what
Let's
couldn't
live it
happen
up
in the
while it could.
90s.
Let's get
Let's
that
have
Super
Bills
Bowl.
and Niners in the Super Bowl.
That'd be-
the
hey,
Super
I
Bowl.
wouldn't mind that.
We
I
tried
wouldn't
so
mind
many
that at all.
times in the 90s. We tried.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl that the terrible Chris Berman picked every year.
Every year.
I like Berman. You guys are haters.
He's
Berman's trash.
I'm not lying. I swore Tom Jackson had passed away. I swear they had stuff. I don't
I'm
know
sure there
why.
were times he wanted to.
Yeah, I'm guessing yesterday he probably wanted to at some point. I did not watch as what I stated in advance, but I'm sure there were times that he's just like, "Why did I do
I
this?"
kind
I
of want
like
to watch
them.
because of Tom Jackson.
I like both of them.
I like Teach.
Teach.
Anyways, we're going to watch the Jets'
Try, boom.
third string quarterback in the second half of this game try to beat the Browns. The score right now live is 13-3. If you're watching the podcast or the replay of the episode, Browns have won 27-3. So well, appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing the show. But we will be back next week.
Oh my lord! You see
Out.
those stats?
Yes.
Well,
Pretty bad stats.
By the
Jets
way,
currently have negative 13 passing yards.
You need to put in Willie Beeman.
they were negative